This is Bruce Buffer, and this is the moment you've all been waiting for. It's time for the MMA-Holes!
Mixed martial a-holes. MMA-Holes, 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 MMA-Holes. You like to be a mixed martial a-hole. MMA-Holes, 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 MMA-Holes.
No way.
From the Queen Studios of New York, UFC 246 has a press conference scheduled for next week. Finally, MMA news, and Kaleb Harris, the Lionheart, Bare Knuckle FC will be live with the MMA-Holes. Wonderful. Like, subscribe, let's go. Party time Wednesday night, and this is season 4. It's the first episode.
Hanging with the boys.
We're hanging with the boys, season 4, episode number uno. That's right. Every year we start a new season here on the Wednesday show, the MMA Holes, and season number 4. Jesse, how's it feel?
It feels exhilarating.
Wonderful.
The answer is wonderful.
Dang it, I got it wrong again.
Maybe if you said exhilarating.
Exhilarating.
Wonderful. That's how it feels. Yeah, 4 seasons of this. Well, the beginning of a 4th season. It's actually kind of interesting.
Yes.
I see the 60,000, Jesse's prediction over the head over there. So we're going to be striving for that this year. And we have Kaleb Harris on the show tonight. You pumped up?
I am pumped. Kaleb Harris has become a swole friend of the show. So it's always exciting to have a swole friend of the show on a swole show.
That's right. The Lionheart has been on a tear in Bare Knuckle FC. He's been knocking people out. I see in the chat that they said he's been knocking people out ever since he came on the Holes. And now that he is an MMA Hole, he's undefeated. And he is fighting in a tournament. And we're going to find out more about that later on in the show, the second half of the show. But the big story...
Why'd you say...
is it?
The big story.
The big story. Now, Jesse, remember last show I said, hey, listen, if there's not going to be a press conference, I'm going to chop my testicles off and juggle them. Remember that?
Yes, you did say that. Yeah. Now you don't have to.
Not juggling testicles because it's going to happen in the press conference. Wednesday night, or for some people, afternoon, is when it's happening next Wednesday. So we discussed.
For some people, it's Thursday.
For some people, it's Friday. I don't know. I don't know. But
Wonderful.
what are we gonna do next Wednesday? How are we gonna attack next Wednesday? What do you say?
So the press conference is at 6
Yes.
or 5.
No.
6.
Yes. No.
5.
What?
The fight's at 6.
Who?
Fight start at 6.
When?
Press conference is at 5.
The fight starts at 6?
On that following weekend.
What?
But the press conference is at 5.
So did you guys get that?
Wonderful.
All right, we put it on the community section. I'll show you guys. Go over, and if you don't know what the community section is, it's in your subscriber feed. You can see we post miscellaneous stuff,
5.
and here's the press conference.
5 Pacific time. So 7 our time
Yes.
is the press conference.
That's right.
Yes,
Or 8.
Or 9.
7 or 8.
P. Fight at 5 P. Was that penis? 5 penis time?
Pacific.
Pearl time.
So I say we do the press conference and then we finish up the 2 hours of the show because the press conference is only going to be about 30 minutes.
Yeah. So what time's the show going to start?
It'll start at the time the press conference starts. So at 8 p.m. Eastern time.
What's Pacific time? What time would that be for us? That would be 7
I
or
think
8?
it's 8.
8, yeah.
8 p.m. Eastern time would be the start of the show, and we would end at 11.
Okay. So the penis time, if you guys live in penis...
10. We would end at 10.
Oh. If you live in penis time zone, then it starts at 5 penis time. We live in 5 Easter time or estrogen time.
Egg time.
Egg time. That's where we live. So what we're going to do is this. We're going to play the audio of the press conference. We're going to do a live reaction to it. And it should be interesting. And then we will probably take some phone calls. We'll do the news. We're going to do the show a little bit earlier next Wednesday. So I want you guys and gals to be in attendance earlier next Wednesday. Now, Justin Jr. in the chat says it's Pacific time. Nope. That's penis time, Justin. I mean, grow up.
Wonderful.
All right. And 9 days, 21 hours, 7 minutes, 2 seconds, my God, Jesse. The clock is going. You see it in the corner over there?
It's going by so fast. Before you know it, the fight's going to be here.
Who do you think Kaleb Harris is picking in this fight?
I think Kaleb Harris is going to go Cowboy.
Ooh.
I think he's going to go Cowboy. He seems like the Cowboy kind of guy.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I think he's going to go with McNugget.
I think
my
you're
pick.
wrong.
All right. We'll see. What do you think in the
Wrong,
chat?
yes.
So, yeah, we have a press conference. It's happening. UFC 246. There's only one. It's kind of weird. You know, like we discussed this, like the press for this has been really strange. But next week should be a shit show. You're going to get the embeddeds. You're going to get the press conference on Wednesday. I guess they're having an open workout, I would imagine, right?
Right.
Do you think Conor and Cowboy are going to be working out in this open workout?
I think, yes.
Actually, what's the
we're gonna
schedule?
See some open workouts.
There's got to be, can you check real quick what the schedule is? We should have done that. I just thought of it now. But I'm curious what the fight week schedule is for UFC 246. Anyone going to this fight? We have, we got 130 people starting off this puppy. Wonderful. Anyone in the chat actually going to the fights next week, next Saturday, right around the corner? Let us know in the chat right now. And how's everyone tonight? Cowboy is slow and flat-footed in the pocket. Conor will knock out Cowboy, says steer, lose, respect, 90.
Wonderful.
He will say Conor early, Cowboy late, but not make decisive prediction. Even GSP did that. Why do people do that, Jesse? You do that, Jess. Why when people ask for your prediction, right? Like with Khabib and Conor, and the same thing's happening with this fight too. If it goes to the ground, Cowboy. If it stays on the feet,
I don't do that.
Well, I mean, like everyone says, well, if it's early, it's Conor. If it's late, it's Cowboy. You know, like everyone always gets. If this happens, this is gonna happen. If that
I don't do that. I have been guilty of doing that with some of the earlier fights.
A lot.
But I don't do that with all fights, especially the main card fights. I don't do that.
But why do people do that?
I use a lot of MMA math. Yeah, I use it for some of the earlier fights because, to me, and my own personal reason is if I don't know the fighter very well, even if I've done research on them.
No, but for instance, when Conor and Cowboy, like when people are being asked for that,
it's a safe bet.
So they don't want to, you know.
It's the safe
jump
thing.
on there.
It's a safe thing to say. Like if you don't want to make the bet that makes you look like an idiot because you were wrong, the safe thing to say is, oh well, if it goes to the ground, it'll be Cowboy. If it stays
the
on the feet,
politically
it'll be
correct way of saying.
Yeah,
it.
it's the safe thing to say so that no matter what happens, you were right.
Yeah.
Right. So, but the reason I say it is because if I don't know very much about a fighter, even if I've done research, then I don't want to come across like I know everything and I don't. So
strange.
So I try to just play it like, okay, well I don't know. A lot
people
about
are pussies then that say, well, if is this gonna happen that
no,
like GSP for instance was asked.
I don't look at it as them being pussies. I think if anything, it's a strength because you're recognizing that you don't know that much about this fighter.
Yeah. So you're saying that GSP doesn't know much about Cowboy Cerrone and Conor McGregor because he fell victim of this.
No, listen.
I think you're a pussy.
I'm saying there's two different types of people who do that. There's the people who don't know much about them, and there's the people who like to use safe bets.
Yeah.
And I'm sure GSP just likes to use safe bets.
So here's the thing. GSP is a complete beast in the cage, right? He's a badass. He's the best 170 out there ever, right? But when it comes to making predictions, he becomes pussified. I don't know what that is. Just make a prediction. It's that simple. What the fuck? Like, what is wrong with people? I know you had this whole, and that's why I love Jesse. It was funny. I was telling Jesse earlier today, thank God she's on the show, because I am a heartless asshole. And Jesse brings this level of, it's going to be okay if you pick both fighters. It's fine. And I'm like, fuck you. Fuck you. I want a prediction. If I'm going to ask you who you think's going to win the fight, I don't want to know, well, if this happens, that's going to happen. If this happens, no. Tell me who's going to win.
You know why people say that too, though?
Why?
Other sports are very predictable, but MMA is the most unpredictable sport. So you
You're
have
too
to,
scared to make a pick.
No, you have to say things like that because it's such an unpredictable sport. You can't be like, well, yes, this 100% is going to happen. You can't be like that.
Yes, you can.
You can't because
Why? Here's the thing.
Because
why can't people be
of
accountable?
the unpredictability of the sport.
All right, so this is the problem with society. I'm going to go into this rant
Two people get
again.
into a cage. A fight is a fight. You have no idea what's going to happen.
Yes, that's pussy. Like, here's the thing. Would you want to watch, like, if you're talking to someone, if you're with a friend, should I do my hair up or down? I don't know how I should do it. Well, if it's a warm day and, the weather is this way, you should wear your hair that way. If it's not, then you should wear your hair this way. Well, I'm not quite sure what the weather is. How should I wear my hair? Well, if it's this way, then you should do this. Well, should I wear these shoes? Well, if these people are going to be there, wear the shoes. If those people are there, wear those shoes. That's how stupid this is. It's dumb. Like, if you think about it, just give an answer. What do you want for dinner? I don't know.
Well,
maybe
you're guilty
Chinese,
of that. I
maybe
ask you
pizza.
what you want for dinner all the time.
No, I say I want this.
And no, you don't. You always go,
Oh my God.
whatever's easier for you.
No, when you're cooking, yes. That's the difference. If
But
you're going to cook
there's no
something.
difference in between that.
Did you
and
give me an
choosing
option?
The winner of a
No,
fight.
you didn't give me an option. Here's
do
the thing.
give you
Stop
options.
being captain. Stop saving everybody. Stop it. It's ridiculous. Be accountable.
Everybody deserves a chance.
Oh my God. It's like you fucking. Let me clip these fucking wings off of you in this halo. Let me shove it up your ass. None of this. This is ridiculous. Now, I want to know in the chat if that bothers you, or are you one of those people that fall victim to not being able to give an answer to somebody? I noticed in media, I was listening to the A-side today. Boom! That was me, if you're listening on Podbean and iTunes, me blowing my brains out.
Pretty sure it doesn't sound like that.
MMA shows suck. Let's be serious here, okay? You guys would like to ride me and say, oh, you're a Conor dick rider, and yes, I fall under that umbrella. I dick ride the Conor.
Wonderful.
But I'm a fan. I ride hard with my guys, my girls. If I'm a fan of a fighter, I ride with them. I run with them. I give you an answer. I say my opinion. Like, for instance, Kevin called in the other day. He rode against Conor. He does whatever he wants. I respect that. You come in, you dance, you play. You play hard. I don't like this flip-flopping bullshit. And I'm listening to MMA media, right? I'm listening to the A-side. And I'm like, these fucking guys, like, the shit that they say, well, if this happens, then that's going to happen. If that happens, then this. No, just give us your opinion. Like, they try to play it so safe because, God forbid, their pick is wrong and they fucking get ridden on Twitter and all that shit. It's, God forbid. Who cares? It's a little rant. Sorry.
So on a side note, they haven't given the full fight week schedule, but from my understanding, Wednesday's the press conference, Thursday's the open workouts, and Friday is the weigh-in.
So they are doing the open workouts.
Yes.
Okay. And thank you for changing the subject because I was going to go on a rant for about 7 hours about this.
Man, you need to back up or you can go to sleep too.
Did you know?
Take 79, subtract your age, then add 40, you get the year you were born. What? The A stands for AIDS in the A side.
It's the worst. These shows are bad. They're bad. I'm telling you. I'm saying it how it is. You got a guy with frosty hair talking to hey, how you doing? Like he's talking to the Irish dude, and that dude, he speaks to you like he knows everything about the sport, and then you ask him a question about a fight that happened 2 years ago, and he's like, oh, did that happen? Why are you preaching that you know everything about a sport, and then you don't know, like you got to know everything. You got to be like Luke Thomas. At least he commits to being a complete asshole. Mystic Roots.
CBD.
It's going to be a venting show.
CBD. It helps with healing process and inflammation and stuff like that. So you wanted to get these for before or after the fight training. Make your life better ways.
Mystic Roots.
Where's up MMA-Holes? You two look wonderful.
Oh, that's very nice.
Kaleb Harris is the man.
Hell yeah.
Wonderful.
So, Jesse,
Yesy?
Mystic Roots is partnered up with Kaleb Harris.
True.
I feel like we had an arranged wedding. You know, like when we set them up together, it's beautiful. They're having sex now.
We set up the blind date.
Right? Yeah, blind date. It's a beautiful relationship, those two. Mystic Roots, shout out. Thank you for the donation. Kaleb Harris is coming in on the second half of the show. It's the tits.
Wonderful.
Okay, so
It's the tip.
fuck all the other shows. Now let's talk about the fight week. So you said Wednesday is the press conference.
According to my understanding, and now don't quote me on this because they haven't released the actual schedule, but based off of what I've read in articles, it would be Wednesday press conference, Thursday open workouts, Friday weigh-ins.
I'm curious what they're doing with these open workouts. Because I think, if I'm not mistaken, Cowboy doesn't work out anymore in front of the public. He just does like a Q&A. And I'm fine with that.
He kind of just steps out for like 5 minutes and then he's gone.
What are they, circus freaks? Like
Conor will work out, I guarantee.
Yeah, like he's usually works out and somebody does other guys like do these little performances in front. I'm a big fan of just taking a mic and answering questions. So I'm cool with Cowboy doing that. The open workouts are going to be a thing of the past soon.
I like the open workouts. I don't think they will.
But
it caters to a certain audience.
This. Yeah, but think about this. Who fuck the audience? We want to make sure these guys and gals get in the cage and fight. Because that's what we're all here to see, right?
Yes.
And this dog and pony show, is that what it's called? The dog and pony show?
Wonderful.
I can't say I've ever heard that term.
That they trot out in front of the audience in the open workouts. Sometimes it's interesting to watch, but these guys and gals are cutting weight. Like they're starving. They just want to just hit the scale, make the weight, and fight. They're fighters. Yet they have them doing like circus tricks. I don't know. Do we need that? Is that something? Maybe I'm wrong. Do we need this?
Yes. I mean, any MMA fan who's similar to myself needs it. I would watch them. Like and plus you have to remember too, some of those fighters use the open workouts as part of their training session because they didn't have the time to get it in earlier than that. You know
I'm guilty of, and let me know if you're guilty of this. With the open workouts, do you guys and gals you see like MMA Fighting drops it or the Mac Life or whatever, they drop a video on YouTube. Do you ever just like fast forward until they grab the mic and start talking? That's what I do.
I like watching the actual workouts.
I don't care. That's a kick. That's a punch. It's great.
But
now you're going to unstrap your gloves. Now you can put your gloves on.
But if you're a fan of watching technique and style.
Oh, fuck. There's no style.
They're not every fighter has a different style.
They're not going to give out any of their technique in open workouts because then their opponent would watch and be like, okay, watch out for that.
Yes, they're not going to give away like.
So it's useless moves.
But their style does come out in their open workouts.
Oh, my God. I got to say this. I fast forward. I fucking fast forward all the bullshit. And then they're doing, Tony Ferguson's doing his breakdancing. I don't want to, Max Holloway, they're trotting the little fucking, the puppet out. And he starts dancing and singing, whatever he's doing. I don't need to see that. I just put the mic in their hand. Let me see what they say to the audience.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
All right. Let's see what before we do that, Jesse, I want to see if, I want to take a poll.
But.
Hold on. We'll beat the shit out of the ceiling. Chat room. What do you do with the open workouts and what do you think about those open workouts? I want to see what's going on in that chat. Hello, peeps.
David says, I skip everything and just watch the fights because I don't give a fuck about the melodrama. Yeah. I just want the action.
Fuck yeah.
Manny C says they should do a behind the scenes where they give away fight plans. Sean Hart with the 50. Steeler says Tony Ferguson
they give away the fight plans.
Tony Ferguson is a psycho LOL. Haha, Max Kid the puppet.
Yeah, the kid looks like a Charlie McCarthy puppet. That kid's not real, right? Max, the mini Max?
What?
He's not real. I feel he's either CGI'd or he's...
You think everyone's CGI?
Annabelle.
Man,
no, that kid's not real.
You're going to go to sleep.
I don't think he's real.
You need to back up or you can go to sleep too.
He's got the same hairline, same face. It's really creepy.
Fuck, I did what he is complaining about and it makes so much sense now that it's pointed out. That's actually annoying. Chris, shave your head, but if you don't like getting cold, don't or move, then do it, or else shave Jesse's head or don't come around too cold.
Wait, what? Wait.
So he's backing up. Thank you, Lee. He's backing up and talking about, when someone asks for your prediction, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, well, like Khabib Conor, like the Captain Obvious fight.
Oh, well, if it goes to the ground, Khabib.
If it stays on the feet. A lot of people do that. Here's my job. I'm not here to make fun of you, okay? That's not what I'm here to do. Sometimes I do, but that's not really what I'm here. I'm here to help you out because I don't want you to go out in public and start saying this. Like if someone asks you who's going to win, Khabib or Conor, if they ever fought again, and you're like, well, if it's on the ground, Khabib. If it's on the feet, I think Conor's going to take it. If you say something like that, that's not an answer.
Now, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
You pointed out that I do that during my fight briefing.
Yeah, you do. No, I never said during fight briefing.
Oh.
No, I never said that.
Oh, okay, because I was going to say, at fight briefing, I do that, but I still make a final pick.
Yes, you're making a pick. I'm not criticizing you. You think everything I say, I'm criticizing you.
No,
I am not.
because you mentioned that I do that with main card fights. So I just wanted to clarify.
No, you've done that with fights before in the past, I said. Yeah,
gotcha.
You do that in the fights in the past because you don't want to make a clear prediction, and that's fine. If you don't want to make a prediction, fine, whatever. But that doesn't apply for you. Thank you for the donation, Lee W. Beat up the ceiling. You ready, Jesse?
I'm ready, Moss.
50 likes. I've got 50 likes. You've got 50 likes. We've got 50 likes. MMA-Holes 50 likes. I've got 50 likes. You've got 50 likes. We've got 50 likes. MMA-Holes 50 likes. I've got 50 likes. You've got 50 likes. We've got 50 likes. MMA-Holes 50 likes. The dislikes can choke on a dick. All right. Now I see in the chat someone said reviews are better than predictions. David says reviews on what? Movie reviews? What are you talking about?
Fight reviews.
Like what?
I suppose after the fight,
or
maybe
breaking down the fight.
Yeah, like after the fight, you're reviewing.
No, before, because the question is before the
Man, you
fight.
better back
That's
up.
briefing. That's like analysis.
Yeah, maybe he's
You can go to
confused.
sleep too.
It's Kaleb Harris.
Make sure you are signed up on Goat Milk. And check out Fight Briefing Thursday nights on this channel with the girl with the cornrows for a briefing on 246. Until then, can you guys preview Pulse's quick picks on his channel?
No.
And maybe leave a comment, Komsumi-da.
No, we can't. Okay, Pulse, I'm always for, like your promotion and stuff like that. I think it's cool what you do, but we can't, because if you ever challenge me again, I cannot see your picks before I make my picks. It can't happen. So no. I would, but no.
Whoa.
I can't see your picks. I'm sorry. I can't do it. If I see your whole card picks, it just fucks me up. I have to have a clear head making my picks.
I actually kind of like that. When you do make predictions and stuff. And here's the thing with predictions, okay? Let me just say this. I'm mystical, so I'm almost always right. So that's that. Put that aside. And I will win that belt this next weekend. But when it comes to predictions, listen, you might as well get the fucking quarter. Flip it in the air and see what it lands on, because that's what a prediction is. The fun part about making picks with your friends or with your enemies on social media, whatever the hell you're doing, is you could talk shit. If you get the pick right, you talk shit. If you get the pick wrong,
yes,
you get shit spoken to you.
Yeah.
It's just part of the game. It's fun.
And Justin Jr. says, Pulse, that's a nice way of saying no to your self-promotion. Don't get ahead of yourself, Justin, because I'll say no to your self-promotion too.
Oh my God, Jesse's blasting people in the chat. Is it me? Is it like 400 degrees? Did you lower the fan?
No, you close the door. Every time you close the door, it gets super hot in here. I said here.
The door.
What's wrong?
I love you, Aiden, too. I love you as well. All right. So if you're just jumping in, I don't know what happened there, but Kaleb Harris is coming on in the second half of the show. The donation that came in was about goat milk. Now, goat milk is our Pick'em League, completely free. You go to the MMA-Holes.com, right, Jesse? MMA-Holes.com.
That's right.
You go to our Pick'em section up top.
That's right.
You can do it on your phone or on the computer. See that goat with the milk spewing out on Luke Thomas's head? You just click on goat milk, and then boom, you're in. Completely free. You have a chance to win the MMA Holes strap. Every pay-per-view, we're going to send something to the winner for each week. So completely free. I think we got, 48 members. Hell yeah, baby. Jump in for a chance to win some swag, and maybe you can be a champion.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Oh, speaking of wildfires, fuck, man. Shout out to the Aussies in the chat.
Yeah.
Sean Hart, I hope you're all right.
60 million animals have been fried alive from the Aussie wildfires. Can you believe it?
I'm not laughing at the animals being fried, but you're like, over 60 million animals have been fried alive. That's not the way to say it.
That's the truth.
Fried alive?
They were fried alive.
Maybe
alive fried.
Animals caught in the fire and
fried.
Have passed away. Fried alive.
There was a picture of a kangaroo that got caught in a fence trying to escape and was burned like this in the fence.
I'm not laughing at it. I am not fucking laughing. But look at this face. It's terrible. That's not fucking cool, Jesse.
No, I'm just
you
trying
have
to make
compassion for horrible people on the internet, but animals getting fucking tortured.
I have a huge compassion for animals. I'm just trying to take your approach and have fun with it, because it's disturbing. Have you seen the pictures?
Like,
I've seen horrifying pictures on Facebook lately, and I gotta be honest with you, it's extremely disturbing. So I'm trying to make light of it, because it's engraved into my head, those pictures.
I am not making light of that. I make light of a lot of things.
They're animals.
But that is fucked up. That is really fucked up what's going on over there in Australia. And I guess she's going to be the bad guy this time. I'm not going there, but I hope everything gets... Is it still going, the fire?
I know
they still frying animals over there?
There was a rainstorm that knocked out one of the fires just recently. But I don't know.
Sean Hart should just open the front door and just start pissing all over. Hello! just start spraying the fire. No.
You're making fun of it now, Mom?
No, I'm not making fun. I'm just thinking
on.
Sean should save the day. All right.
I saw. Oh, by the way, there was a group of teenagers that saved a handful of koalas, like 20 koalas, and put them in their car.
Yeah.
And they have a video of it, and there's all these little koalas just traveling around in their car. It's the cutest thing.
Yeah, but you didn't read the second part of the story. The car got stuck in a pothole. It was a very deep pothole. The fire crept up on them and killed everybody.
So stupid. No, it's cute. They're saving.
Wonderful.
There's people going in saving koalas and kangaroos and stuff like that. So
This is terrible, Jesse. I can't believe you're making fun of this shit. It's terrible.
no,
Anyway,
I just said there's people saving them.
let's get back to the MMA stuff. Let's stop talking about koala bears. Okay? So the press conference this Wednesday, we are going to be doing a show for it, a reaction, and we'll take some calls. We'll get into the news next Wednesday, episode number 2, season 4. What is the story about the press conference, Jesse? If you could tell me a little bit
There's not really much of a story on it, just to let people know who haven't heard about it yet. The UFC has officially announced a press conference for UFC 246 McGregor versus Cowboy on January 15th. It will take place at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Time, ahead of their welterweight main event matchup at UFC 246. According to the announcement, the event is free and open to the public. It does not specify whether fans or media or both will be permitted to ask questions to the headlining fighters. McGregor has developed a reputation for his colorful and occasionally explosive press conference appearances to hype up bouts with the likes of Jose Aldo, Nate Diaz, Eddie Alvarez, and Floyd Mayweather, among others. The upcoming fight with Cerrone marks McGregor's first octagon appearance since UFC 229 on October 6th, when he lost a UFC lightweight title bout to Khabib Nurmagomedov. UFC 246 takes place on January 18th at T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas.
There we go. UFC 246 has a press conference. Only one leading up to the big fight, the first fight of the year. And it's been a weird lead up, but I'm looking forward to the embeddeds and all that stuff. I think we're going to get some juicy stuff next week. They're just going to cram it into our face, I guess. So that's that. Anyone in the chat going to this event, let us know. And as you do that, I want to creep on over to our community section. We did a poll. You know, I like doing polls.
Wonderful.
Jesse, if you can tell the people, what did they vote on here?
13% said they would pay the $64.99 for UFC 246 pay-per-view. 16% would go to the bar to watch it. 55% said they're going to use the dark web to watch the fights on Saturday night. And 16% said they're not watching it at all.
I had a good chuckle when I saw the 16% there. Now, this is 711 votes, and 16% said they're not watching it. The line, like Pinocchio syndrome.
You're full of shit.
There's so much Pinocchio syndrome going on with that 16%. Noses are just growing left and right, just trolling, because you know that's bullshit. But it is interesting to see the majority of people will be, borrowing it off the web.
I like what you did there with the little pirate flag.
You like that, Jess?
Yeah, that was... I see what you did there, Moss.
How can we fix this problem, UFC? We've said this before. If you lower the pay-per-views to like $20 a month, even $30 a month. If you made it $30 a month, this would cut this number in. I mean, I think 75% of the people that do it online would be like, it's only $30.
I agree.
You know, like, it still shouldn't be $30.
But it's only $30.
But it's $30. You know, that's a Conor donation. That's a proper 12 whiskey donation.
Yeah,
you know, we can go there for that, right? You know, we could get that pay-per-view. Like,
sure.
It would solve a lot of problems. I don't understand why there's such greedy motherfuckers. I don't get it. You got the people going to the bar. Did you see there was an article released about what they charge people for bars? Damn, I should have clipped that shit and put it on here. Did you see that article, Jesse?
Negative.
Fuck. Damn it. Maybe if you could scrounge it up. It's an
article.
What am
I looking for?
It's what UFC is charging. So they put a post out. Let me see if I can find it on their Twitter. That would make things easier. But they put a post out of how you can watch, you know, if you are an owner of a bar and you wanted to host the UFC pay-per-view at your bar, the numbers were insane. Like, in order to make your money, it was impossible for you to actually make your money back. It's not on their fucking, God damn it. Let me see if I put it on our Facebook.
Did UFC jack up prices for bars for pay-per-view?
I can't find the thing. If anyone in the chat knows, it's nuts. If you guys own a bar or some shit, or if you go to a bar to watch a fight, they are literally losing money. I don't know how Buffalo Wild Wings does it, like how they show the fights there, because you pay per how many people you have in your bar, right? So if you could only, house 170 people in your bar, you have to pay X amount of dollars to the UFC to show their pay-per-view. And it's like an absurd number. It's great. It's crazy. They're nailing people left and right all over the place. You can't watch it at home because you need to, chop your arm off in order to watch it. You go to the bar, and a lot of these bars are getting rid of it because it just doesn't make sense for them to pay all this money, and they won't make their money back in that night. So they wonder why people are pirating this stuff.
Yeah.
Or not watching it. I mean, I feel it just doesn't make sense. It's almost like, hey, we have enough percentage of people that are going to pay this money that we don't give a fuck about anyone else. And who cares? We don't have to make any more money. We don't need any more viewers. This is fine. We're making enough money this way. In fact, we'll jack it up. We'll jack up the price. Isn't it a bizarre strategy?
It's a little weird. I just read an article that said for one bar that was being charged $4,000 a TV in their bar.
A TV?
Yeah.
Wait, $4,000 a TV? Wait, where did you see it? Is this just somewhere?
I just had it open.
I would imagine it's $4,000. So if I'm not mistaken,
how do I go to my history?
It's like you pay $4,000 for how many people you could fit in that bar. So you could show it on all your TVs. It's not per TV. If that's the case,
it was per TV. It was $4,000 per TV.
What?
Yeah, hold on. Let me just.
That can't be true.
They said Toronto, New York, and something else.
$4,000 per TV? Oh my God.
Hold on.
Could you imagine? Like, why would you want to? And you think about these bars that have the UFC, you wonder, are they actually paying? Or are they fucking streaming that shit?
Hold on, it wasn't this one.
I mean, you can get into a lot of trouble if you stream that shit at a bar. That's nuts, man.
And it says they charge her casino bar is per TV. It's $10,000 per TV for their casino.
$10,000 per TV. Yeah, because I guess you don't know how many people are going to be there for that night.
For the bar that I was just reading, it was $4,000 per TV.
10,000.
So I guess it varies per state how much, because they said Toronto and New York prices raised over the last year.
I'm assuming, yeah, because you're going to get more people in your bar. Wow, $4,000
per TV in New York and Toronto.
It's crazy. What is going on? What's going on here? I understand these fighters got to get paid.
There's no way. I guarantee they steal the streams at the bars.
You can't know. If you do that, you can get your place shut down. Like, I mean, that is like legit a big no-no to do. In a public place where you're charging people, yeah, you can't do that.
That's crazy.
You got to play by the books.
Why would a bar pay $4,000 per? Like the place we went to the last time with our friends, like there were TVs on, there were like 20 TVs on every wall.
My God. What do you guys think about this in the chat? What is a fix that you have? I mean, I think there's an easy. Now I understand. I get that the UFC has to charge these bars because these bars are making
$4,000 a TV.
Well, they're making money off their product. So what is the number? Is the question like what is that number?
Imagine there's 20 TVs in a bar. That's $80,000.
You know, I would be fine.
To show one fight or one night of fights.
It's crazy, but I would be fine with the $10,000 a TV if the number for the pay-per-view over here for us was $30. Then I'd be like, well, who gives a shit? I'll watch it at home. But now it's like they're handcuffing everyone. Like everyone's getting fucked. You got to pay almost $70 to watch the fight by yourself with your cock in your hand. Or you can go to the bar, but the bar don't want to show it because you got to pay $10,000 a TV. It's crazy.
UFC made a deal with all major sports bars. Hooters, Buffalo Wild Wings, etc. They get fights without ESPN Plus.
Yeah.
So
no, that's true.
Straight to them.
But they get all the fight night fights too.
Buffalo Wild Wings, I know, does it for sure. Like they have they're always doing UFC events at Buffalo Wild Wings.
Man, everyone's getting bent. Let's be serious here. Everyone is getting bent over by the UFC. Think about this. The NFL.
You gotta back up or you're gonna go to sleep. Now you need to back up or you can go to sleep too.
Oh, look who it is. McCracker fanboy.
Conor is fighting Cowboy because he's a bigger draw. Nothing to do with fact. Cowboy is a few fights from retirement, has the most fights in UFC history, is coming off back-to-back KO. Cares if Gaethje starched him in the first. Cowboy is popular.
I appreciate the donation, Kevin. I appreciate that. It's wonderful, wonderful.
Wonderful.
Thank you, Kevin.
Well, hello, Kevin. Welcome to the show.
I do appreciate it. Like I said in the beginning of the show, I like Kevin. I think he's all right. Even though we argue and go back and forth.
There was a lot of hate going to Kevin's direction on the last show.
Well, listen. He likes the heat. He likes the heat. I like people that bring the heat. It's fun. I think it's fun. Like that's the thing. Like that's why people think I'm getting pissed off, and if you're getting
the
pissed off,
the argument is the entertainment.
It's so fucking fun. Like that's what you want to watch. You don't want to watch two guys with frosted hair, talk about shit, and then
you know what's funny?
Like,
I went back and I watched that argument in particular because everyone was talking about it. It wasn't an argument, like the debate that went back to back back and forth with you and Kevin. I went back and watched just that part, and I saw my face, and I was just laughing the whole fucking time, and that's when it clicked. It's just like the entertainment value in
ball busting
in the debate alone. Like it's not about Kevin wasn't getting triggered, Moss wasn't getting triggered. It was just like there was something entertaining in listening to you two go back and forth. Like I could listen to that all the time. This
is what's beautiful about a nice sports debate. No matter what sport you're watching, this is the beautiful thing. No one's right.
Yeah.
No, I'm not right. You're not right. No one's right. This is my opinion versus your opinion. And we represent an audience, right? I'll speak for a certain audience. You speak for a certain audience. And that's what people want to hear. They want to hear both sides of the argument. They don't want to see the same thing of... They don't want to see that. Like, hey, let's just fucking shoot cum on our faces like most of these shows out there. No, that's not what you want. You want fucking two sides. You want a good guy and a bad guy. That's what you want.
I see people dropping in the chat, I'm right. You know what's funny is the people who think that they're right are generally the ones who make the biggest fools of themselves. If you go into a debate thinking that you're right immediately, you will always make the biggest fool of yourself.
Well, I'm right. I'm always right, Jesse. I'm always. Yeah. Anyway, back to this story over here. So that's the question. Why can you do this with all the other big sports? Everyone lives peacefully. You can just watch it through your basic cable. Enjoy it. You can go to the bar. No one's complaining. And the bar's got to pay prices for... hosting their sporting events there. But there's no one really complaining like they are with the UFC. The UFC is the villain sport. It really is.
True.
It's not only is it cage fighting and people are beating each other up, and that's what we're consuming, these gladiators going at it, but just on top of it, they're just stabbing us in the face with their prices and ripping money out of our pockets. It's the most expensive. It's not even the biggest sport out there. Not even near the biggest sport.
You're going to go to sleep. Well, man, you need to back up or you can go to sleep too.
Blah. Your nigga's going to reserve a table at Buffalo Wild Wings like our boy Jose. Also, the Glenlivet 12 Scotch any good?
Never tried it.
Oh, we had 15. That's what we were drinking, right? Glenlivet 15.
We were?
At my parents.
No, that was Delmore.
No, that was Glenlivet.
No, we drank Glenlivet at your brother's when we went before we went to go hang out with your friends.
Oh, you're right. Was that Glen? Oh, that was
and
Glen.
That was 12.
Yes. No, it was 15.
Oh, it was 15.
Yes.
And
no, you're
it was
right.
Delicious.
Glenlivet 15 is what we had at my brother's. He got it as a gift. It was like a $70 bottle, right, of Glenlivet.
It was delicious. It's got like a nice, smoky, like different aftertaste, but good. Very good.
I wonder if the 12 is good. I want to try it. I don't know how much it is, but I do want to. You know what? Write that down. We'll get it for UFC 246.
Your brother was gonna give it to us.
No, well, listen. I don't like to take other people's alcohol.
He didn't want it. He didn't like it. He kept trying to throw it on you.
Maybe I will take it then.
And you wouldn't take it.
Thank you, Mr. Vlad, for the donation. So, I don't know what I was talking about before that, Jesse. I completely lost my whole train.
I saw Fowler in the chat ask what's in the crock pot. We don't do crock pot for a while now. We are on day 2 of health. It's actually, I gotta say, I'm feeling good already in day 2, and I'm feeling awesome. Tonight, it was just 1 chicken breast and half a cup of vegetables. That's what you have for dinner tonight. And then I'm not allowed to eat for the rest of the night.
Okay, so thank you for, I appreciate that, Jesse, but I'm just...
Sorry, that's off topic, but I was just answering Fowler. No crock pot for, it takes 21 days to build a habit. No crock pot for...
So I saw David in the chat say it's not a sport because it doesn't have the Ali Act, and the promoter is the matchmaker, a.k.a. match fixer. So there you go. Back onto that topic, because I think this is a good topic. The mixed martial arts, I believe it is a sport. I consume it like a sport. You have refs. You have rules. You know, everything is packaged as a sport, and it's thrown at you in a sports way. You know, we pay for it like boxing. Boxing's a sport, right? If you think about it, boxing's a combat sport. So that's how we consume this, and the UFC has taken after boxing with their pay-per-view style. But I feel that if the UFC wants to be bigger than boxing, I feel that they can really market this. I mean, they've been on Fox, right?
Yes.
Now they're on ESPN.
Yes.
There are ways for them to monetize this where they don't have to take it all from the fan. Like, if football could do it, if baseball could do it, and maybe because UFC is worldwide, maybe that's where the problem is. I don't know. Like, people watch football all over the world, but I think UFC is consumed more worldwide. It's more of a world sport.
Well,
UFC.
it's getting there. The UFC is still very, like, infantile. If you really think about
Man,
it.
you better back up or you're going to go to sleep. Man, you need to back up or you can
Thanks,
go to
Jared.
sleep too.
Bo.
My granny and me went to the Walmarts today, didn't know we couldn't bring a dog inside. An old lady yelled, "Hey, you can't have that in here." I yelled at her, "Mind your business, you old bag." She said, "How rude." She got lost and I got a 50 PD bag of old boy.
That's what we like to say.
Your own business, you old bag.
It's wonderful, wonderful. That's an MMA hole in full effect right there. I like that. Thank you, Boo. Mind your own business. Just mind your business.
Oh, God.
All sports are competitions.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to get into the logistics of it.
Now, back to what I was saying real quick. And Sean Hart brought up a very good point. UFC is older than me and my infancy. He's trying to make a joke there. And you're right. It has been around for a while. But if we really think about it, it hasn't been around for a lot of the other national sports or worldwide sports that go on. Martial arts has been around for a while, but the UFC as an organization has not been around for very long in comparison to other sports. So you can still argue that it's still in its infant stages and it hasn't reached the audience that it's going to reach 10 years down the road.
They're not getting rid of the pay-per-view. I thought there was going to be a time where you'll have a one package for everything. They're not going in that direction. They will have pay-per-views until I am in the dirt. I don't think in my lifetime I will see a UFC without pay-per-views. And it sucks to say.
Yeah.
You know, like you see these other sports, you buy a package, you have the sport. Not the UFC. That's not how it's going to work. In fact, you're going to pay the pay-per-view, and then you're going to have to pay the fees for their streaming services. That just seems like how it's going to go. And, you know, boxing, you think boxing is going to be no pay-per-view? Boxing will always have pay-per-views. Mm-hmm. So I kind of wish that the UFC would do their own thing. I wish that they would carve their own path, and they would say, well, ESPN Plus is us carving our own path, but you still have pay-per-views. You know? I just, come on, be the first combat sport that's like all the other sports, that is like all the major sports, but you're worldwide. You have that allure from all different countries are watching your product. Maybe it's tough because you have it on BT Sports and, you know, certain countries, and you have it on this network and that network. Maybe it's tough for them to monetize it, but there's got to be a way. There has to. Do you want me to, UFC, do you want to hire me? I'll fix this for you. Just charge everyone like, I don't know, one price.
You see the wheels turning? There's got to be a way.
Dana White, call me up. I'll fix this. I'll fix this problem here. You're ass raping your fans. And because of that, everyone's on the dark web. And then people are like, oh, it's not really the dark web, man. The dark web is for this, and they're just going on the internet and going on this service and that. Who cares? It's the internet. I'm just fucking around. Don't be a gaylord.
Gaylord.
All right, what else is in the news, JBH, before we get Kaleb Harris on the show?
Well, the ultimate question, should Jorge Masvidal take on Conor McGregor or Kamaru Usman Next? What do you think, Moss, before I read this article?
From what I've heard,
the name.
He wants Conor. I think Conor would make more sense.
Okay.
Because Usman would literally get on top of him and BBC his face into the mat.
All right. Well, Masvidal is coming off one of the more admirable 9-month runs in recent UFC history, and the UFC's first ever BMF champion is now rightfully sitting in the position of being able to plot his next move as one of the newest and biggest stars on the UFC's impressive roster. But which of the incredibly awesome matchups on Masvidal's mind these days should the 35-year-old pursue next? Might it be Conor McGregor? If anything, maybe Masvidal could wait a couple of weeks until after McGregor is done with his upcoming UFC 246 headliner against Donald Cowboy Cerrone on January 18th. While most would agree McGregor should still be elite enough at this point in his career to dispose of the 36-year-old Cerrone, the plain truth of the matter is that McGregor hasn't won a fight since defeating Eddie Alvarez back in November 2016. Do you realize how long ago that was? Barack Obama was still president of the United States at that time. Since then, McGregor lost to Floyd Mayweather via a round 10 knockout inside a boxing ring and tapped out against Khabib Nurmagomedov in round 4. The last time we saw McGregor throw a fist at anyone was in the video of him punching an old man in a Dublin bar, which surfaced via TMZ Sports last summer. But while Masvidal might say he wants the McGregor fight because of all the huge business he envisions it might do, he's most assuredly doing that with the idea that McGregor gets past Cerrone in 2 weeks. Because if Cerrone pulls off the shocking upset, McGregor would basically turn into a has-been overnight. That's not intended to be a knock on Cerrone. The UFC's real-life Cowboy is one tough dude, and he's generally considered to be one of the most loved and supported UFC fighters on the planet. But Cerrone enters UFC 246 on a 2-fight losing streak himself. He wasn't given the chance to fight the UFC's biggest cash cow right now because people thought he might win. He's basically only there to make McGregor look good again. The last time we saw Cerrone in a fight, he was getting folded in half by Justin Gaethje, a fighter some people feel got snubbed by not getting the McGregor comeback fight himself, and one most people would probably love to see get a title shot soon. But should Gaethje jump over Masvidal for a crack at Kamaru Usman's UFC welterweight championship? A lot of people are saying no freaking way. Masvidal's stunning wins in just 9 months last year over Darren Till, Ben Askren, and Nate Diaz make him the guy at welterweight who basically should get to fight whoever he wants. It's not just that he won all of those fights inside the distance either. It's that he did it when most people thought he was probably too far on the wrong side of his mid-30s to be any better than the 13-loss fighter he had already been over the course of his career. But Masvidal's found the magic, so now he deserves the biggest and the best fights. That includes seeing Masvidal trying to usurp Usman for the title, which would surely be a massive, violent spectacle of destruction.
Jesse, did you know that BMF equals best muffin frosting?
I did not know that, Moss.
Okay.
Wonderful.
Thank you to KCO for dropping that in the chat. Yeah, get the man paid. Get the man paid. Just fight. 2020, I hate to break it to the people. This is going to be the year of the money fight. This is going to be the year of the spectacles. This is going to be the year of the weird shit. Even if Conor takes the L, there's going to be some weird circus fight after that.
Back up, you're going to go to
Best
sleep.
muffin
Now
fight.
you need to back up, or you can go to sleep too.
I with you, Moss. I think the UFC will bleed this until it's dry, but I think they will have to move to a purely streaming service. The WWE, I never thought would it. They have a fan base which is used to buying monthly PPV, and they changed.
God, I hope that is the case. We've been hoping for this for a while, and moving over to ESPN Plus looked like something that might lead in that direction. And then when they upped the pay-per-view price and got rid of the standard definition and you could only stream in HD, it's like, wait, hold on a second. This is not what I wanted. Fight Pass was going to be the answer before that. That wasn't the answer because you still had to pay for the pay-per-view. Maybe one day when the UFC's contract is up with ESPN, they are so big that Fight Pass will be there and that will be their exclusive streaming service. I hope that's the case. But I am not optimistic. Jesse, I want to place a bet. There are big fights coming up. Jesse. Big, huge fights.
Just because you're not in Vegas doesn't mean you can't bet on MMA and UFC. BetDSI offers online wagering and has been paying winners for 20 years. Use the link in the description with promo code MMA-Hole, all one word, and get up to 100% bonus match as well as $25 as a welcome bonus today. BetDSI also offers betting options for everything including NFL, NCAA football, NBA, NHL, UFC, and all their major sports, politics, reality TV, esports. Virtually everything. We play there ourselves and recommend BetDSI if you want to add some excitement to fights or any of the sports you are watching. Once again, go to BetDSI with the link in the description below using promo code MMA-Hole, all one word, and get a limited time 100% bonus offer as well as $25 as a welcome bonus. Make some extra cash on the sports you know and love. It's only a game until you bet it at BetDSI.
BetDSI. Make some money. Win some cash. Wonderful.
Wonderful.
I think people should place their bets this weekend and win. I heard Henry Solstice is dropping 500 on Conor McGregor. Jesse, is that a risky bet?
I put my money on Cowboy.
Ooh, Jesse likes the underdog in Cowboy Cerrone.
Yes,
Let's see
sir.
the money line over here.
I certainly would.
Let's see what we got. Yeah, plus 215 is Donald Cerrone. So that is the underdog, but Henry Solstice says Conor McGregor FTW. If you want to place a bet, that's where you do it. Link in the description.
Do you put your body to the test day in and day out? Do your muscles feel so stressed and fatigued that it hurts just to get out of bed in the morning? Whether you're a rigorous athlete or a hard worker, you want to buy a massage gun that provides the best therapy in the market. Theragun provides an all-in-one massage and recovery tool. Theragun helps you release muscle tension, soreness, and recover faster. Use the link in the description below and start using a deep muscle massage treatment unlike anything you've ever felt. Again, head over to theragun.com/holes with the link in the description and get a $40 saving with 2 free attachments and start feeling better, moving better, and recovering faster with tension and soreness relief.
Do you know, Jesse, that I once used a Theragun? Mm-hmm. Well, I use a Theragun every day, but one time I used this thing, I ejaculated. Did you know this, Jesse? I came.
Did you?
I've never had.
What was the situation?
You ever hear like rub and tug, like
Yeah.
shit like that, massages and stuff, where you go for the happy ending? Well, I had the Theragun. It felt so good, I ejaculated.
What was the situation? Where were you using the Theragun?
I don't want to say where I was placing this thing, but fucking A, it felt good. If
right.
Conor McGregor loses, I will have to push the Theragun in places to soothe my pains.
All right. Oh, man. Do you own a business event or organization and are looking for the most efficient tools for marketing and advertising? Sticker Mule offers easy online ordering with a 4-day turnaround and free online proofs with free shipping. Use the link to Sticker Mule with the link in the description below and get incredible promotional materials such as durable and waterproof vinyl stickers, coasters, magnets, customized tape, labels, bumper stickers, and more. Sticker Mule offers full color printing at the highest quality that you deserve. Free shipping, free online proofs, fast production, satisfaction guaranteed. We use Sticker Mule for all of our marketing needs and we've never been happier with the products we receive. Once again, visit Sticker Mule with the link in the description today.
Sticker Mule is wonderful, wonderful.
Wonderful, wonderful.
I love their products. And we do our advertising with them. And oh, Jesse, I have some coffee in my face. And it is from
Timeless CBD sees a gap in the industry between quality and affordability. This is a CBD company that strives to make top-notch products at prices people can afford. All of Timeless CBD's products are carefully handmade at their facility. Each and every batch is third-party tested. Visit Timeless CBD with the link in the description and get your hands on only the best CBD products such as full-spectrum oils, gummies, pain salves, freezes, BCAAs, and more. Use promo code MMA-HOLE, all one word, and get up to 20% off of your entire order. We use Timeless CBD on a daily and we haven't felt this good in years. Once again, visit Timeless CBD with the link in the description and use promo code MMA-HOLE, all one word, and get up to 20% off of your entire purchase.
Hey, 20% off your CBD products. That's pretty wonderful, wonderful.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Link in the description, Timeless. Shout out to Timeless and all the others. By the way, we are this close to another fantastic friend entering the MMA-Holes family. Ooh, I'm so excited to talk about this one.
I'm stoked.
I tell you what, we get the best deals for this audience. So what other MMA show? Yes, our sponsors helped keep the show going. But if you go in the description, we got the best deals, the best products. And wait until you see this next one. I'm going to blow your fucking minds. I saw Kaleb Harris in the chat, Jesse. Should we call him now?
Well, I gotta pee first.
You got to pee.
I think it'd be a little unprofessional if I was not present when we...
Yeah, you should pee then.
Back
Yeah.
up.
All right, as you back up
man,
and
you need
pee.
to back up, and you can go to sleep too.
Yes, said Rhino.
We would all love for the UFC to do what WWE did and make the PPV part of the monthly service, but Marky Mark and company love money too much. I say if you have Fight Pass, ESPN Plus and Disney Plus, you should get the PPVs for free.
Oh, 100%.
It's not like they need the dollar.
So Zen Rhino makes a good point. And Hulu, ESPN Plus, and what is the other one? Disney Plus? There's a lot of pluses. Disney Plus, ESPN Plus, and Hulu. If you get that package, is like $12.99 a month, which is not a bad deal for 3 services, but you still have to pay the pay-per-view. They should do a bundle where you're forced to get other services, but at least you get the pay-per-views too. They really should do that. I'm telling you, you look at this number, you look at $70 a month on top of the $4.99 fee with ESPN Plus, and it's like, what are we doing? And, you have other bills, you have lives, If you want to watch your football games, your basketball games, your hockey games, your baseball, you just put on your cable, and everything is advertised through their sponsors. Like look at us. We're not asking you for money. You donate to us. That is great. That's fantastic. We make it part of the show. It's fantastic. But we have sponsors that keep us going. Now, we don't make a lot of money from it, but still, that's how we keep going. ESPN, UFC. UFC, you got to, I mean, they're paying you big bucks. You mean to tell me you can't fucking pull something off for the peeps? Or at least lower their pay-per-views? A smidge? It's nuts. They increased it this year. $64.99. UFC 246. It's just unacceptable. It really is. It really is. And it's just going to go up. You know? Suck my thumb, says King James.
Suck my thumb.
I don't know if I want to suck you. You know, I sucked my thumb late in life. Into my fucking late 20s. Is that wrong? All right, let's squeeze one more story in and get Caleb.
You sure you want to do that, Moss? That's really squeezing it.
What kind of story? You want to? I got to pee now too. How about you talk to? Why am I peeing so much too? It's probably all the fucking water. AIDS. Oh, it could be AIDS. Yes.
I don't want to actually get into the next story until Moss gets back, because it's actually something that I think that he would enjoy, because you guys had a fun time lighting the Conor McGregor thing on fire with the T-shirt that Reebok. I think Reebok released it. That will be his walkout T-shirt. And now I think Reebok's trying to do some damage control because they just released another T-shirt, which is the Cowboy Cerrone Legacy Tee. And we'll show you guys it in a second. But I don't want to show you guys until Moss gets back, because I know he's going to have a fun time with this. But yeah, how many of you guys saw the Conor McGregor T-shirt? Let me actually see if I can find it over here for you guys. If I can find the Conor McGregor T-shirt that was just released. Move down over here. Oh, here it is. All right.
Man, you better back up or you're going to go to sleep. Man, you need to back up or you can go to sleep too.
True grit.
UFC should ask McGregor how to run the company. He's literally the reason why the company sold for billions. He knows more about marketing than those in charge. I've never bought a PPV because I don't like feeling like I've been mugged.
So
it does
Conor
feel like
McGregor
that.
Running the company is scary to me, because he still acts extremely immature, which tells me that he can't make responsible decisions.
Well, no, he's not saying for him to run it. He's saying ask him how to run a company.
Why would they ask him how to run it?
Because of Proper 12.
All right, so show the T-shirt. Well, it's not the whole T-shirt, but it's part of it, of what they did for Conor just recently.
Well, that's just the face of the shirt.
This is the walkout shirt. Yeah, this is the...
Hold on, I'll put the shirt up.
Okay.
Hold on a second. And we'll get Caleb on. Actually, should we just call Caleb? Let's just give him a ring. What do you say? Let's get him on.
All right.
We shouldn't get into this yet. Actually, I wonder if Caleb, are you in the chat?
There it is.
If you're in the chat, I would love to see your opinion on this shirt.
So this is the walkout jersey that McGregor will be wearing at UFC 246, walking to the cage. Now,
I'm walking to a cage.
Reebok is definitely trying to do some damage control, because they just released the Cowboy Cerrone Legacy Tee, which you can find on the MMA-Holes.com. If you go over there, you can see it, Moss.
Wait, they're trying to do damage control?
Yeah.
But how are they going to fix... Wait, so they're going to have one good shirt and one shit shirt?
Yeah, so everyone lit this shirt on fire. So they were like, oh, what better way?
Super chat.
Caleb
Holy
Harris.
Shit.
Thank you guys for all the support. Here's a little to help.
What? Caleb, what are you doing over there? Holy... We got to call him.
Wonderful.
You just called us collect $50 from Kaleb Harris. Everyone drop a wonderful, wonderful in the chat.
Wonderful.
Caleb Harris.
All right, we got to call him
with
up.
the fitty.
I gotta suck his dick
Moss,
now.
you got to sing a 50 Cent song now.
Go, shorty. It's your birthday. Caleb Harris just dropped 50 cents.
That's not a 50 Cent song.
What?
50 Cent. You got to sing a song that 50 Cent sang.
It's your birthday. Go, shorty. It's your birthday. That's 50 Cent. What the fuck world do you live in? Wow, Kaleb Harris. Should I give him helmet? All right, let's get him on. So here's the deal. We're going to get Kaleb Harris on right now. And go give him a follow. It's at Lionheart2193. And damn, man, that was super generous of you. Caleb's the best. I was talking to Jesse before. Like, Caleb, let's get him on. We'll suck him off on air. Lionheart.
That's not necessary.
I'm going to suck his dick. Gaylord.
You're not gonna let it ring?
Ba, ba, ba. Skype calling. Here we go.
On?
Son? There he is.
You're in the shade.
Oh, he's in the shadows. Caleb, what's up, man?
Oh, he's frozen.
Oh shit. This is kind of creepy.
Poor network connection.
Reconnecting. There's a poor network connection. Oh my goodness. Let's get Kaleb back on the line. Hey, let me hang up and call him back. Did he say mom?
No, he said, am I on?
Oh, I think he said mom.
You got to learn the southern accent, Mom.
I think he said mom. I'm like,
Mom?
oh, that was Am I On? Kaleb Harris, Bare Knuckle FC, February. Here we go. There he is. Good? All right, Kaleb, what's up, man?
What's up, guys?
There he is. Kaleb Harris. How's it going, man?
Where's your face? You're in the shadows.
Hang on a second. Let's see if I can get this fixed.
You better get it fixed.
He's in his traditional spot here. He's gonna fix it up. We've got light. Let there be light.
Oh,
there he is.
It's like Jesus is shining his light down.
Oh, look at it. The Mystic Roots. Look at that, Jesse. What do you say?
Mystic Roots. Oh, is Mystic Roots still in the chat? Hopefully
yeah.
Mystic Roots is seeing this.
I don't know. They were blowing up Instagram for a little bit right before I came on.
Yeah, it's awesome, man.
So I see you guys have a nice little relationship over there. Mystic Roots is great. They're great people. They got a good product.
Yeah, man. Chris, I mean, it's because of y'all, but this CBD sponsorship, thanks to Mystic Roots, has been more than I could imagine. I mean, they have took care of me coming up for this upcoming fight.
Oh, that's awesome.
And they've took care of anybody that's placed orders. You know, I had a couple of local CBD shops that wanted to help sponsor me, and y'all know me, I'm all about supporting my local, but Mystic Roots offered me a really great deal, and since then is just improved beyond measure.
That is awesome.
Good
man.
people.
Congratulations.
I tell you what, if we didn't have Timeless CBD, they're great people. Both of them, Timeless and Mystic Roots. It's rare that you get two companies that are actually wonderful. So I'm glad you guys you have a good sponsor over there, and hopefully we can send someone else your way as well.
Yeah, man.
Kaleb, look at you. Look at this 2-fight win streak over here, right? There's pictures of you all over the internet. Your fist is on fire in pictures. You're fighting like Godzilla.
That's my boy John Yargates, and I think he's in the chat right now. But that man has done amazing work with helping me with promos and stuff. And if y'all haven't seen it, you got to watch the Christmas music video that I made that he made for me.
I think we did see it. Actually,
I think we did.
Yeah,
is it on your Instagram?
Yes.
All right, so
I think we came across it. Hold on. Wait, no. It's a video. You got to keep going.
All right, well, this is what we're going to do. We're going to send people over at Lionheart2193 is his Instagram. Go give him a follow over there and check it out after this wonderful interview because, I mean, he's got a great Instagram. Pad it up. Follow this man because he is on a 2-fight win streak. And you are, listen, 2020 is going to be a big year. 2020, I feel, is going to be the year of the Lionheart. What do you say, Jess?
Well, 2019 was the breakout year for BKFC. So I say 2020 is championship year.
That's it, baby.
How about that? How you feel about that, Kaleb?
By the end of 2020, there's going to be a belt around my waist.
Oh, shit. Now talk to us. We have a tournament that I'm hearing about. I don't know much about this tournament. Let us know what we're in for here.
Okay, so I can't give you a lot of details only because this week David Feldman's getting married, and so obviously he's got more important things that he's handling right now. Mm-hmm. But yes, there's going to be a 155 tournament set up over the next 6 months, roughly, and it's going to be a East Coast versus West Coast type thing. So you got 4 fighters from the East Coast, you got 4 fighters from the West Coast. They're all going to battle tournament style till there's only 2 left. One East Coast, one West Coast fighter, and they're gonna set it up like that. So I think what they're gonna have is like my fight's gonna be in Miami in February, and then I think there's a fight. I want to say I saw Mr. Feldman post on Facebook today that there's a fight March 19th or 15th, one of those 2 dates. I don't know where yet, but they're gonna have the tournament on one card, then another fight card, then another tournament card, and they're going to kind of scatter it out for the next 6 months. And I plan on by the end of it, I'm going to be the 155 champ.
Wow,
I'm putting money on it.
We're going to bet on it, Jesse?
Does Bet DIAZ do BKFC? If they do, I'm putting money on it.
Now, here's my question. Now, this sport over here, bare knuckle, and in the chat right now, to the peoples, if you haven't heard about bare knuckle FC, now's the time to get into it. Artem Lobov and Jason Knight had some wars. Kaleb Harris had some of the craziest knockouts we've seen. And this sport is on the rise. It's a young sport that's up and coming. There's a lot of blood. It's vicious. And speaking of vicious, how are they going to run a tournament with injuries, like with cuts and stuff like that? Is there any fear of like how they're going to handle the situation with injuries?
I don't know what their thoughts on it are, but I mean, I've been thinking about that this whole time, especially with one of the fighters that I've been told that I'm going to be fighting, who's also a very, very aggressive fighter.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, okay, I come out even in my last 2 fights where I didn't really get hit a whole lot because I've been working on my head movement, and I still do. But those shots with the knuckles bare, they tend to get stone bruises, and it can take a while for that to heal. So thankfully, Mystic Roots has hooked me up with some CBD pain cream that's definitely helped with the healing process. But even still, it's like now it's even more important that you're going to have to go out there and hit without being hit and be accurate with your punches. So I see there being some, I wouldn't be surprised if there was 1 or 2 injured fighters that won and then they had to call somebody in to take up. So, I mean, even if somebody's not in the tournament, there's a good chance they might be in the tournament later on just because of injuries.
Okay. And now you said there is a belt on the line for this, correct?
Yes, it's from what I've been told, it is, you'll have it's an 8-man tournament. All 8 fighters will fight in what I'm assuming Miami. Then the next 4 fights will fight 2.5 months later, and then the final 2 will fight in I think they told me that they were looking to try to do the title fight around July. None of this is all mostly speculation, just from me talking. Nothing is set in stone.
Whoa, hold on a second here, Caleb. Whoa, Mystic Roots just dropped $100. Oh my God! Caleb, let's get some dancing going over here. Holy shit! Jesse, dance with us! Oh my God, we're dancing! Everybody in the chat, dance along, Mystic Roots! Oh shit! It's a dance party! Oh my God, my head's gonna explode! Oh, Jesse! What is going on?
Get it, Jesse, get it!
Wow! Holy shit!
The whiskey.
Come on, MMA-Holes, let's get behind Kaleb for BKFC champ in 2020.
Wow.
Look at that.
That's love and support, baby. That's love and support.
I tell you what, Mystic Roots, good people over there, and thank you. Jesus, that donation was extra moist and creamy and wonderful.
Well, you just paid for another piece of equipment for the studio. Thanks, Mystic Roots.
Well, you know what? We have to send Kaleb another MMA Holes shirt. You know, you've been 2-0 as an MMA Hole, so we're gonna send you another MMA Holes shirt, and we're gonna give you the power of the MMA Holes. I mean, we can't let them not have the swag, right?
Absolutely.
That's there's a funny story about that right there, because I love you guys. I do, and I'm very non-superstitious, but the MMA Hole shirt has brought me luck. I have made sure to wear it, and I've even been messaging you during the weigh-ins like, look, they're not going to let me wear my shirt on stage, but I made sure that like the photographer got pictures of me with the MMA Hole shirt on, and I did my best to get as far as I could before they were like, you got to take your shirt off here.
That's awesome.
I had a sponsor here recently, and out of respect, I will not say who this sponsor was, but they wanted to become my sole sponsor. When they messaged me that, I was like, what do you mean sole sponsor? And they're like, I don't want my name on anything around any of your other sponsors. It needs to just be me. And I'm like, dude, I got family that are sponsors, like, I mean, are sponsors that I consider family, and like, they're like, well, maybe we can have it where you wear just my stuff at the weigh-ins and stuff. And I'm sitting there thinking, like, my first thought is, okay, how am I going to break it to him that I'm wearing my MMA Hole shirt to weigh? That's just how it's going to be. But I ended up giving him a counter offer, and I guess he declined it. So it is what it is. But I never liked the idea of Reebok stepping in with the UFC and taking away all the fighters' sponsors and being able to call shots. Like, you got to wear our stuff all week long. If we catch you wearing anything else, then you're getting fined. So I don't like being under somebody's thumb. So
smart move. You put all your eggs in one basket. Yeah, it kind of handcuffs you. But I got to say this: we're completely honored to have you rock the MMA-Holes swag. I mean, Jesse, how do you feel about that?
Wonderful, wonderful.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Wonderful, wonderful.
This is good stuff. So now, what is the feeling going into this fight over here? It's a tournament fight. Do you train differently for a tournament fight, or are we just gonna go in guns blazing like you usually go?
And you know me, I'm highly aggressive, and but this is a great opportunity. Bare Knuckle, without giving out just personal details, Bare Knuckle has offered me this, and it was a win-win situation. So basically, this one fight, just the first fight in the tournament, I'm gonna make over half of what I made my entire year in 2019 as far as purses go.
Wow.
And win or lose, I've made enough noise and made enough splash in the bare knuckle world that they want to promote me. As long as I keep interesting fights, and you'll never see me in a boring fight. I mean, I could go out there and break my hand in the first round. I'm gonna be throwing everything I got with it until the end. But they want to promote. It's honestly the only reason is this tournament that I'm going back down to 155. So little bit nervous about getting back down there. I really enjoyed being able to pretty much eat as much as I want and be able to fight at 65, but I've cut to 55 for the last 6 years of my MMA career, so it's not going to be another thing. If later on, closer to the fight, we do another interview, I may be doing this from inside of a sauna, but you know, that's just part of the game. I'm going to be fighting somebody that has a lot of backing behind their name. Like I said, I can't, because it's not, the contracts aren't back yet. I can't say who he is, but I respect him. I loved watching him fight, and he's one of my favorite bare knuckle fighters. But as I said before in one of my post-fight interviews, I'll go to anybody's backyard and I'll hunt them down for a belt. And it just so happens that, you know, anybody's name that gets thrown in with me's got to lose.
Has it been someone that we have seen on the last card?
No.
Okay.
Or the card before that?
Possibly.
I think I know who it is, Moss.
You think so,
but
Jesse?
I'm not going to say.
If you had to guess.
Because it wouldn't be because he doesn't want to say who it is.
Guess in the chat. We don't want to get Kaleb in trouble. Jim Allers? No. All right, we're not gonna throw any names out there, but
I think I know who it is.
Yeah.
Yep.
You think so, huh?
I think so, Moss.
All right, we don't want to get you in trouble, Kaleb.
But I will say this, and
is he
I don't
black
know
or
if
white?
he watches this.
What color is his skin?
I don't know if he watches this.
Yeah.
But one of the coolest guys that I've met in bare knuckle is Isaac Valleyflag, and I may have just butchered his last name.
Okay.
But he has been so cool to talk to because he's been in the UFC, he's been in bare knuckle. I mean, I think in the last 2 fights that he's had, his last fight with Melvin Gillard and the fight before that, both Melvin and the other guy broke their hands on this man's head, which I mean, just tells you how tough he is. So he's been kind of waiting in the wind. So, I mean, me and him have talked before. We've even kind of pretended to have a little call out thing on Facebook because we were trying to build up attention so that they would set up a fight at 165 for us. But if they haven't told him to be in this 155 tournament, I seriously think that bare knuckle needs to put Isaac Valleyflag in the 155 tournament because I mean the man's 3-0 and a hell of a fighter, and he deserves to be in it.
This is gonna be fun. I'm really looking forward to this. I like tournaments. I think the UFC.
I'm getting flown out to Miami, bro.
Okay, now this is all right. So you're going to Miami. Now here's a question. We spoke about your love life in the last stream.
Oh yeah, she's in Florida, right?
Is it? That's it? Oh no! Perfect timing though. Hold on a second. This is great news. I feel bad. I'm sorry to hear. Now, tell us the story.
It was just it didn't work out. That's it wasn't her fault. It wasn't my fault. It just at the moment in time it just wasn't working. And we both tried, and just the things that were causing the stress, just, you know, we couldn't change them at that moment. So, but yeah, so for pretty much, you know, unless God comes down and slaps me in the face and says, hey, this is the one, put a ring on it, I'm not looking to do anything until after Miami. I'm going to enjoy my life in Miami.
There you go.
Yeah,
now,
you're still young. I mean,
this is great news. What are you talking about?
No need to get tied down anytime soon.
Perfect timing for Kaleb Harris, right? You're going to Miami, for God's sakes.
He's gonna become a champion.
He's gonna jump into this tournament. Oh my God! You're gonna have to bring a bat with you. I know you got those lethal weapons in your hands, but there's gonna be women throwing themselves at you. How are you gonna keep focused in Miami?
Well, all I gotta do, I'm gonna be cutting weight the first 2 days, but after that fight, Miami's gonna find out what Scott County's like.
Oh man, this is gonna be great! I can't wait to hear the stories.
I told a buddy of mine. I said, "There's 3 things I want to do after my fight in Miami.
Mm-hmm.
I want to find a Cuban woman, some Cuban coffee, and a Cuban cigar. Those 3 things I want to find."
That sounds like a great plan. I love it. I'm going to live through Kaleb Harris over here. Miami is where he's fighting, and it is next month. This is exciting stuff here.
Man, you better back up. You don't go to sleep.
We got a donation coming in here.
Lee W.
Lee W. from Ireland coming in.
Add this to the bet for the 155 tournament, Jesse. Fair play, man. Loyalty is crucial, and you have earned more respect from me. Never sell out. The Lion will roar this year. Let's go, future champ.
Damn, look at that.
Hey, from the motherland.
The people love you. I tell you what, hit me with the ones in the chat right now if you're a Kaleb Lionheart Harris fan. Let me know if you're on board with the Lionheart. You better be, or I'm kicking you out. I'm banning you immediately. This is good stuff. So now,
man, I'm going for the record. I'm gonna be the fighter that's on here the most.
Yeah,
that's my only goal.
I tell you what. What is this? The 4th time? How many times have you been?
3rd.
Oh man, this is like the 6th or 7th time I've been on here.
Damn.
No. Is it the 6th or 7th? I feel like it's maybe the 4th at most.
Well, hey, he's been on more than.
He's been on enough times.
The whole chat is igniting with ones right now. They are all excited. They're all Team Lionheart in the chat. I think you got an army that's about to have your back.
That army needs to go to my Instagram and go to my Facebook page because I want to break 2,000 before this fight.
There you go.
You heard him.
If you have IG, go over there. It's Lionheart2193. Go give him a follow. And I have to say this. We have UFC friends. We have Bellator friends over here. But I have to say this. Kaleb Harris fights with no gloves. Yeah. It's got to be the baddest guy that we know, right? Let's be honest.
True. I have to give you credit. You have, you know, I'll tell you in a second.
We got a donation coming in. Super chat. Magic is donating.
Saron submits Lionheart via S tier.
Saron S tier? What the fuck? Anyway, this is a good question. Who do you have in the fight next weekend? And hold that thought, Jesse. Conor or Cowboy?
I'm a Cowboy fan till the day I die, guys. Cowboy's gonna come out there and surprise y'all, and I'm going an hour away from my home to the only casino that will put sports bets on right now, and I'm putting $100 down on Cowboy.
Oh,
and win or lose, I will always be a Cowboy fan. And to all these folks that's I don't care if you think that McGregor's going to win. That's not, to me, disrespectful. These guys is talking about Cowboy's too old or that he's weak or this, that, and the other. They forget that this man is a legend in the game. Like, I mean, you don't hear anybody talking about Robbie Lawler or Carlos Condit like that. They damn sure don't need to be talking about the man that's basically fought twice as many fights in the UFC than any other fighter. Cowboy has always been a favorite fighter of mine, and I mean, I'm happy that he's getting this fight, and I cannot wait to watch him put McGregor down.
Isn't it not absurd? He's a plus 215. The audience is like, a lot of people in the audience are like, it's a layup fight for Conor, this and that. I'm a Conor guy, but this is not a layup fight in any way. At 170, no. It's crazy.
Now, what I don't like is the fact that if Conor beats Cowboy at 170, that he supposedly gets he's the next stand-in in case Ferguson or Khabib gets it. I mean, I don't obviously know how to run a business like the UFC does, and I get that that's the money fight, but to me it's just not fair to guys like Justin Gaethje who have busted their ass all the way up the ranks and have been sitting in the number 2 contender spot all because this guy decides he wants to come back. And I mean, I'm a Conor fan. Like, I love watching him fight. I don't particularly care for his antics outside of it, but, you know, I love watching him fight. He's a very technical fighter.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just not fair that just because he sells a lot of tickets that he gets to come back whenever he wants and immediately get a shot at the title.
I'm 100% with you. They could do the Diaz trilogy. They could do Masvidal. They could do a million other fights out there.
Conor doesn't want Masvidal.
Well, yeah, that's a lot of smoke for him. But maybe Masvidal will get paid. By the way, Jesse has a question. Let's get to Jesse's question over here before we got to.
I have a question.
What were you saying before the Cowboy and Conor thing? Remember you had something?
Well, no, before I was saying that I would give him credit because he's one of the only guests that we've had on the show that has created such a draw from our audience. A lot of people will troll, but everyone in our audience is just cling to you, which is really weird. We don't really see that often.
I guess y'all don't remember the first time I came on here where everybody was asking if I disliked black people and ate possum and was gay. So I guess we're gonna just pretend that one didn't happen.
She forgot about that.
You earned their trust. Usually, I mean, like Forehead, it took about 3 or 4 times before people finally started to like warm up to him. With you, it took one time. They trolled you the first time, and then now it's like.
I mean,
I grew up getting hazed, man. I grew up getting picked on for my ears and stuff. So I learned to roll with it. And I watched y'all's show before I came on, and I saw that was the thing for this show was that you were gonna get hazed by them. So I was prepared for that, but it was great to have several people hit me up on my Facebook page after my first time with y'all and tell me that it was all for love and that they were all big fans. And now anytime I see on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter somebody pop up with the name Lil Chuck, I know where they came from.
There you go.
Wonderful.
Lil Chuck live. Now we have Kaleb the Lionheart Harris on the MMA-Holes. If you're not familiar with Kaleb, well, he's fighting at Bare Knuckle FC. It's happening February 15th, right around the corner, tournament style, and he says he's taking it all. He's taking everything. Now, here's the question. Finally, are they gonna put a mic in front of you this time? They keep pulling that mic away. Are they gonna give you the mic this time?
Man, I hope so. But they may not like it because once I win this first fight, well, I say that. I said I was gonna jump up and run all over the ring whenever I got my first knockout, and I just kind of stood there. So I don't know, maybe. But I've kind of been growing into this. Like, I mean, I think even y'all have said it before. From the time I've came on here the first time to now, like, more and more each day, I start to realize that I'm at that next level. I'm no longer a local guy fighting. I'm actually making big bucks. And me and my best friend of 21 years, we were walking around yesterday, just around the mall, and like he's like, "Did you ever really believe that you'd be making this kind of money fighting?" And I was like, "Yeah, I mean that was the dream, was to make it to the UFC." But I'm not gonna lie, there were times where I was like, "Man, I missed my opportunity," or I'm from the deep down south where we don't hardly get any recognition. And I mean, it's not the UFC, but in all honesty, I mean it's building up like it was in the early UFC days. So it blows my mind that I'm at that next level, and now with this tournament I'm getting to take another step to where I'm no longer bumping shoulders, but I'm in the same talks as guys that have been in the UFC for years, and fought there, and there's the possibility I'm going to be fighting these guys. So it's been wild, man.
You're one of the guys, like Bare Knuckle brings in these fighters from the UFC and from other organizations, but you're one of these guys that they're growing. You're one of these guys that are like from Bare Knuckle. You have an MMA background, but you're like one of their young studs coming up. Do they treat you differently now? You have these highlight reel knockouts. You're on a 2-fight win streak over there. You're thrown into this tournament. Has Bare Knuckle said, okay, you know what? We're going to do something with you. We're going to push you. We're going to try to promote you. Have they tried to help you out in any way?
This tournament is basically their first steps towards that. I have not really, not that he wouldn't speak to me, but like I said, David Feldman's going through wedding stuff. I mean, I can understand that'd be a headache. I don't want to bother the man, but Nate Shook, the matchmaker, has shown me a lot of love. He's been busy as well, but he has been able to answer most of my questions. And when he called and he messaged me and offered me this tournament because I told him I'd fight 155 to 175. If I was going to fight 155, I needed a heads up so I could plan my diet. And once I got an opponent and I talked to him, he told me, he's like, Kaleb, he's like, win or lose, he's like, against this guy, you put on an exciting fight and we're gonna build you up. Like, I mean, they're starting to realize that, and I'm not trying to Conor it. I'm not trying to McGregor it. I'm not trying to talk a lot of trash. I'm not here to talk trash. There's been other guys that's talking about how they deserve this, and other guys that's talking about they're the baddest division. Man, I'm just here to prove that I'm the baddest. Like, my thing has always been, don't doubt me. If you doubt me, then give me whatever you need me to do to prove that I'm the best that there is. And if I lose, then that just means I got a little while longer to, but I mean, I'm not going to stop. I mean, everyone told me I was crazy at first to do this bare knuckle stuff. My mama almost she wouldn't have never disowned me, but she damn sure didn't like the idea of it. And now now she's just worrying about how she's going to get to Miami.
Kaleb Harris live on the MMA-Holes. And that's actually a good question. I'm curious now, like your parents, are a little skeptical, and now here you are, you're 3 fights into bare knuckle, 2-fight win streak. You got some wins under your belt, and are your parents like, wow, this is something special here? They're more supportive? Whoops. Hold on a second. We have Troy's Heart with a donation.
Southern girls are the best. They really know how to use their soup coolers.
Oh, the soup coolers.
That's a term that I've never heard, but okay. The only problem with Southern, I've never really dated a northern girl, but I will tell you this: most Southern women know how to swing.
Yeah, there you go. Jesse, what do you think about the soup coolers?
No comment.
All right, I don't know what that is either. That's unbelievable. Get your questions in the chat for Kaleb Lionheart Harris.
Home.
And I tell you what, this fight is going to be a lot of fun. Now, back to the question about your parents over here. What do they think now that you're on this 2-fight win streak in bare knuckle?
Wait, speaking of parents, before you answer, can you just say hello to Lady C in the chat?
Hey, Lady C.
That's my
what's
mother.
Up?
That's my mother.
Oh, okay.
She's in the chat.
Hey, Jesse's mom.
She just popped in the chat, and I thought she'd get a kick out of a BKFC fighter saying hi.
Yeah, there you go. Mom's is supporting MMA-Holes on this side and that side of the
there you go.
The camera.
I know my dad. I don't know if he knows how to comment on it or anything. I know my dad is probably watching right now. If not, he'll be watching it later tonight when he gets off. But yeah, to answer your question, man, my mom and dad were very hesitant about it. They're still not 100%. My dad's a little more okay with it because he's like, okay, as long as you keep moving your head and don't take a lot of damage, I'm okay with this. Mm-hmm. My first fight, with Harris Stevenson, my face was all busted up, swollen, bloody, and everything. But my last 2 fights, I came out with a busted lip. That was pretty much the extent of my injuries between Jonathan Vastante and with Jeff Chiffins. But my mom will always, I can tell my mom that I'm going to go become a professional bull rider, or, I want to go dodge vehicles for a living. And if it was truly something that I wanted to do, she would support me.
That's awesome. Sounds like you got a great family over there. And to do this now in Miami, traveling, how excited are you to just travel for a fight?
Well, I'd be a lot more excited if I didn't realize that I was going to be cutting weight during the plane ride. Like I've never had to cut weight like that, and I always like to cut weight and be on weight the night before and just kind of wake up the next morning or sleep in as late as I can and get up and go weigh in. I'm not going to be able to do that. Mm-hmm. So I'm looking to be about 160 when I get on the plane ride, and me and my buddy, I'm going to take my Nintendo Switch and play some Witcher or either sleep all the way there and then get in the sauna box and just sit in the hotel room and watch TV while I sweat the last few pounds out.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, but other than that, I'm excited. I've never been to Miami ever. I've been to Destin, Florida. I've been to Panama City, but I've never been to Miami. So it's going to be interesting getting to see that part of Florida.
That's going to be awesome. So how can we watch this bare knuckle fight next month?
I don't know all of the satellites that are going to be airing it, but the best way to watch it is Fight TV app.
Okay.
It's $30 for the pay-per-view as of right now. And along with Fight TV app, you'll also be able to watch the weigh-ins for free.
Great.
And once you buy the beautiful thing about it is once you buy the fights, you have them at that point. It's not like you buy them for 24 hours and then they disappear. I mean, you can go back and watch at any point. And they usually they do really well with being able for you to hear the commentating and stuff. So if I had to choose, I always just download the Fight TV app and I watch it on my PlayStation.
Perfect. Yeah, we have a link to Fight TV in the description, and we have a promo code for a $10 credit if you want to get it. Check it out. Fight TV down below. And like Kaleb said, the fact that you can go back and watch these fights, hell of a lot better than ESPN Plus. I can tell you that much. Jesse,
I was listening to y'all talk about that. Yeah, it's ridiculous that they're doing the same thing, which I don't want nobody to be fooled about Disney Plus. They're going to do the same thing Netflix did. They undercut Netflix by doing the $7.99, but once they get a ton of subscribers, it's going to jump up to $12, $15 a month, just like Netflix does now.
100%.
Disney's going to own the whole world by 2030, probably.
I understand you guys got to get paid. What you guys do in the cage, in the ropes, wherever you're fighting, you guys need to get top dollar, and I'm all about that. And I'm looking at these NFL players. I'm looking at these baseball players, and they're making so much money. There's no pay-per-views. It's all off of sponsorships and advertisements and all that stuff. And why can't the UFC do something like that? Right? I mean,
when you're making that kind of money, I mean, you don't want to let it go.
Yeah.
They look at it as that makes the fighters work that much harder. That's what I love about bare knuckle. They definitely have come out and they're gonna pay more and be a little more favorite to the big name guys like Lorenzo Hunt, who's fighting Joe Riggs as the main event for the Miami card.
Oh, cool.
They're gonna show him. Obviously, they're gonna show them a lot more love, because.
Sorry, hold that train of thought. We got Kainoto with a donation.
Kaleb, as long as you don't ever rape, lie, cheat, snort cocaine, rape while snorting cocaine, sucker punch old guys, run from child support, and sit on your champ belt for 2 years and never defend, you'll never McGregor it.
Will you ever?
Fair enough.
Will you ever go full blown McGregor?
No.
Okay.
God no. My mama would beat my ass. I ain't worried about the press. I ain't worried about none of that. I'm worried about coming home.
Yeah.
But no, man. That's just not me. Like I'm not a good shit talker. Like it's embarrassing when I start trying to talk shit to people. It's just either I'm gonna ignore you or we're gonna fight. That's the only two options I got.
That's awesome. Yeah, you got loud mouths like me that can't even fight, and I'm just talking all this shit, and you can actually kick someone's ass. I wish I could trade places with you, but I can't, unfortunately. Kaleb, the point that you were making before about the UFC, ESPN Plus, and all that stuff, if you could finish your thoughts on that, because that's actually kind of interesting to me.
Yeah. So, like with bare knuckle, they pay well. I mean, they're not, UFC level yet, but I mean, they're doing their best as an up-and-coming sport to take care of all their fighters. Like, regardless of if, they're a big name or not, they're still getting paid. They're paying you a flat rate. They're not doing this, you got to win to make enough money that's really going to be worth something. And I've never liked the way that UFC, there was one female fighter a couple of years ago that literally had to pull out of a fight because she couldn't afford to pay for her fight camp.
Mm-hmm.
And she's in the UFC. I understand some of that maybe could be bad money management, but at the same time, you're in the UFC, they should be paying you enough that where you do make that you can afford that.
Absolutely.
And with Reebok coming in and taking over to where you can't really advertise a whole lot for your sponsors. I make just as much money off my sponsorships now.
Great.
And I still have very low prices, but I have people that have decided to sponsor me for the whole year already, and I've made several big deposits into the bank because of that.
That's awesome.
And that's what pays for my college and stuff.
Can you talk about the purse for this fight coming up?
I don't want to give out exact numbers, but like I said, I'll make over half of what I made out of 4 fights last year. I'll make half of that in just one fight. And when I win this belt in the next 6 months, I will have made more money than I make in an entire year working at my job.
That's awesome. Oh man, so this is the full-time dream, right? Correct?
That's what I'm working towards, man. I'm between this and getting my degree. I'm looking to leave my job and go full-time into training within the next couple years.
Smart guy.
And the sooner I can, the better.
That's good stuff. Degree, fighting, making money, all different directions over here. You have a good basis with your family and stuff like that, having your back. It's awesome. I saw Jessie chuckling while she was writing questions.
I'm about to say, I was wondering what was going on over there. I didn't know she found that Theragun that you were talking about.
Yeah, was it the Theragun, Jessie?
The questions tonight are horrid.
Okay.
Oh, Lord.
It's that time of the show, Caleb. You ready? Take a nice drink. How about this? Before we get to the questions, would you like to dance with us again? We have 50 likes.
No, let's do it. Wait, let's do it after. Let's do it after. I don't want to miss any questions.
You want to beat them up and then dance?
All right,
yeah.
Okay.
First of all, Jesse, do I need to go get some whiskey first?
Yes. And we're going to talk about whiskey.
All right, Kaleb Harris is he's about to lube up his brain cells right now with some questions from the chat. It should be interesting.
There's one guy in the chat, Jay Shiro, which I have a feeling is someone that we know, but his questions, I have like 10 questions from Jay Shiro. The rest of them are from other people, but Jay Shiro had the most like hilarious questions, and I couldn't help but write them down. So
yeah, that's how we roll.
I am a Cowboy fan, but I do enjoy a decent proper 12.
Oh,
proper 12. There you go.
The proper 12.
Hey, for $25 you can't go wrong, right? Look at this.
Right, and it mixes really well.
Sure, there you go. Maybe a future sponsor down the road, right?
Okay. So some of the questions go there. Let me just start you off with that. All right. First, do you have an uncle in the KKK?
If I do, I did not know it.
Okay.
But I do not support that at all.
Okay, that was from Jose Rodriguez.
So no post-fight lynching parties, no?
No.
Okay.
Not at all.
Does Kaleb grab the tits or the ass when he's doing doggy?
What?
More of a hip person. I gotta hold on.
Shonar says,
great question.
If and when you create your own whiskey, what would you name it?
Oh, that's a good question.
That is a good question. I'd have to think about that.
All right, we'll get back to that one.
Grab him by the hips, whiskey, right? What do you think?
Is your mom also your cousin?
No, but I do have a Jerry Springer story that I can tell later.
Oh, okay.
Oh, God.
Actually, you know what? Get into it. Let's hear this story.
All right. So, first of all, Mama, if you ever see this, I love you and I love Floyd to death, okay? So, my mom and my dad got divorced when I was 10. Years later, you know, she's had boyfriends, obviously. She meets this guy. All right, well, a mutual friend introduces them. Yada, yada, yada. They get married. His name is Junior Monk. They get married. Turns out, all right, because my mama may watch this, I'm not going to talk about the man. There was some issues, and so he did my mom wrong and basically slapped a divorce right in front of her. Well, at the same time that all this is going on, we've moved out. We are currently living with my mom's best friend, who happens to be dating my dad at the time.
Whoa.
Stay with me now, because it gets even worse. So, again, my mom's name at this point is Monk, right?
Okay.
So we move back down to my grandmother's, and we're there, and I'm going to school, and my mom comes home, and this has been a year or two. My mom comes home and is like, you know, she's met somebody and been talking, and he's really nice and takes care of her. And I'm like, Mom, as long as you're happy, I'm happy. I was like, but who is it? His name is Floyd Monk. I said, so he's another Monk? Turns out it's Junior's uncle.
What? Oh, boy. Oh, man.
So I'm like, so when you get married this time, you don't even have to change your last name, right?
Well, that's one way to look at it.
So no, there is no inbred that goes on in down here in Scott County as far as my family goes, but it is always funny to tell that story. My mom may not think it's funny, but thankfully she probably doesn't watch this. My dad's probably laughing his ass off right now.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Listen, Mom, if you're watching, it was worth it. It was absolutely worth it. Right, Jesse?
I'm just going to move on to the next question.
Wonderful.
What do we got, Jess?
Would you ever fight a woman if the money was right?
I would probably turn down a fight against a woman if it was the right woman. I ain't fixing to step in the cage with Amanda Nunes. Shit. Get my ass whooped off.
If the money was right?
Well, I may take that ass whooping for the right price.
Is there anyone that you wouldn't fight?
I would not want to fight. Now, there's a couple of exes I may want to put some hands on, but I don't, and I do not endorse hitting a woman at all.
I endorse it. Beat the fuck out of them. They're assholes.
My God.
But, okay then. But
Jesse's also in the KKK. On top of that.
But I will say this. I mean, with the rise of women's MMA, yes. I mean, I wonder at times if there will ever be co-ed MMA fights. I don't see it happening on a high level.
Yeah.
But you know, it could possibly happen. But you know, at the end of the day, I'm gonna fight guys, and you know, if a woman wants to fight me, then like as like a legitimate MMA fight or something, we'll go to the gym and train if that's what she wants. But and who knows, I may take her out for a drink after that, because that's probably going to be a turn on for me.
All right, I got a question for you.
All right.
Say bare knuckle, right? They say, listen, we're going to Japan. We're doing a tournament in Japan. You got to defend your belt over there. It's going to be fantastic. And here you are with this belt. You're doing your touring around, and everyone is doing the press and all that stuff. You meet a beautiful woman. You take her home, right? You have the belt on the mantle. You're getting all intimate with this woman. As you are slowly pulling down her pants, she's a lady boy. Little thing comes out. She's beautiful. No one has to know, Caleb. Do you keep going? You beat the
Hell
shit.
the fuck no. I'm getting up and walking my ass out, and I'm taking my damn belt. Honestly, at this point, I might just leave the belt and just walk.
For a second.
No one knows.
Man, this ain't no. I'm sorry. There's two genders.
Okay.
There's male and there's female, and I'm only interested in the females.
Based on the look on his face for a second, I thought he was gonna be like, well.
What if she tucks it in? What if she just tucks it in between the legs? Does the mangina thing? It's like,
no.
I'm just gonna suck. That's it. That's it. Nothing.
No.
Okay.
No.
Had to get that out of the way.
I'm gonna be honest. At that point, if we made it to the bedroom, I've done managed to find a feel at some point, so we never would have made it that far if that was the case.
All right, fair
and
enough.
it scares me today, bro, because there are he, she, and hey, if that's what somebody wants to do, I'm not this bigot from down in the South. Like, if that's straight, gay, trans, whatever, if that's you, if that's what you feel in your heart is who you are, more power to you. But that's not for me. I believe in male and female genders, and I believe males go with females, and that's just how it works.
All right, so no sword fighting. All right, so we had to clear that up, Jesse. Just I had to piggyback off of
All right, if you were ever a Power Ranger, which would you be?
Well, I started off wanting to be the Blue Ranger as a kid, and it would probably have to be from the originals, either the Green Ranger or White Ranger, because Jason David Frank actually did end up becoming an MMA fighter. So, I mean,
the fact that you know this.
Hey, Power Ranger is the reason I started fighting. I mean, I walked in 7 years old, told my instructor I wanted to be a Power Ranger, and we ran with it.
All right. What is your favorite type of porn? That was from Volk Vigo.
Oh man, there's so many genres.
All right. Did you vote twice for Trump?
I actually don't vote.
You don't vote?
I don't understand politics, and I believe that if you don't know what the hell you're talking about, you don't talk.
Oh, shite.
I tell you what, I'm with you. I'm with you on that.
Probably just lost a few followers because of that one, but
they could go over to Iran, play over there.
Well, here's where you'll lose some more followers.
Oh, no, here we go.
Do you agree with trans people reading to kids in libraries?
Wait, what?
All right, you have a son, right?
Do you agree with trans people reading to kids in libraries?
All right, if somebody's wanting to do a good deed, I don't care who they are.
Yeah.
But I am probably not going to be as comfortable with my child being around something that I don't agree with.
Okay.
Now, with that being said, I mean, if my kid's going to a public school, I don't have the right to say that. If I want to send him to a private school, Catholic, Christian school, whatever, that's one thing, which, I mean, and I'm pretty sure just because I said Catholic, there's probably about 15 jokes down there in the bottom, but
yeah.
Everybody has their own beliefs and reasons, but if somebody wants to do a good deed, Jesse's laughing because I'm trying to like navigate politically correct through this.
It's like a beauty pageant where they start asking the questions. Like next segment
World
is
peace.
the bikini. We're gonna put you in a bikini in the next segment.
Okay.
Anything else, Jesse?
Have you ever seen a goat's taint?
Negative.
Next.
I want to know who these people are because these people obviously weren't followers in the last couple of shows.
We've grown since.
Are you a tits or ass man?
Ass all day.
Are you upset that your parents chose the biblical name you have over Samson or Barabbas?
No, actually, I'm not. But kudos on whoever that was for
Kainoto. That was Kainoto.
That was a biblical name.
Samson
Actually,
Harris.
I looked up a long time ago about what my name translates to in Hebrew and several others. It was a thing we were doing at school one time. My full name actually means Kaleb actually means loyal or faithful dog twin. Kaleb Thomas Harris means faithful dog twin.
It's not gonna help your situation here, my friend.
Faithful. Well, you're faithful at least.
I that's what I always said. I'm loyal. I'm loyal to a T to my family and friends. If you show me support, I'm gonna show it back. I'm making this kind of money. That's why I wasn't able to answer in the group in the comments, because while y'all were asking was I still watching, I was trying to figure out how to send y'all that $50, and my
that was awesome.
phone wanted to work.
That was crazy. By the way, have you ever been asked these questions on any other shows? But Lady Boys?
No, not at all.
Okay. Would you ever consider joining the UFC? And good luck on your next fight.
Thank you. And yes, I mean, Dana White calls, and with the right offer, then yeah, I'm taking that shot.
All right. My mother says, good luck on your fight. You'll be awesome.
Tell your mom I said thank you.
She hears you. She hears you, my friend. And last but not least, Ann H wants to know if you've ever licked a cow salt lick.
What?
Have you ever?
What is that?
A cow salt lick? You've never heard of that?
No.
Oh, you mean
I
like
grew up on a farm.
You actually mean like a salt lick, like a mineral lick.
Yeah.
And
so
no, I haven't.
Okay.
But
okay.
It's interesting that somebody brought that up.
So, if you ever grew up on a farm, like my dad grew up on a farm. We worked on farms when I was really, really young. A salt lick is like a block, and it, like you said, it's a mineral salt block that cows and horses will lick.
Oh, okay.
And I don't.
We use it for deer hunting.
Well,
that makes sense.
There's one reason to use it.
You just automatically assume it's something terrible that's hanging between their legs. Like,
no, it's like a block of salt, pretty much.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, but
people lick that?
No, cows and horses lick it.
But why would?
Apparently somebody.
Does Ann
H clearly tried it at some point.
That's called foreplay in the Ann H house. They lick the block of salt before they go down. That's crazy.
All right, that's it. That's all the questions.
You need a big margarita for one of them things.
Yeah, really. Holy shit. Well, how about that, Caleb?
I want to thank everybody in the comments right now, because this has been the funniest one so far.
Holy shit. Now, by the way, we have the audio version of these shows on Podbean and iTunes. So if you want to hear the interviews over there, Kaleb Harris will be over there as well. Podbean and iTunes, check it out, the MMA-Holes, and you can hear the audio version. It's just as good.
Oh, well, I'm thinking about it, because I just checked my phone, and he's been texting me. To Justin, if you're still watching, I can't wait to do an interview with you, bud, sometime this week. Like I said, just text me and we'll hit it up. You know.
Let me tell you about this kid.
The best. By the way, he just jumped.
He called me on the way home, and like I had two of my teammates, one that's cutting weight right now because he's got a fight this weekend. He's fixing to be 6-1 in MMA. And then I got my other teammate right next to me, and so I told him, I was like, dude, look, I'll call you back as soon as I can, because he wanted to talk to me about the show.
Oh, God.
And I was like, so I tried to call him back right before I got on with you guys. So I just sent him a text. I was like, look, bud, I'm fixing to go on with the MMA-Holes. Like, just text me and we'll set up. If you want to do another interview, we'll set it up. Because, I mean, I got to give the kid credit. I mean, the man hunts after what he wants.
He's
at
a little
age,
hustler. He's a little 12-year-old hustler.
In the middle of this interview, I look in the chat and I see Justin Jr. I just interviewed Royce Gracie. I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm trying to keep my composure. I'm like, look at this little shit. He's got everybody. He did Matt Brown.
I saw on Instagram the other day because he like messaged me. He's like, go like my post. I'm like, all right then. But it was like, I think he'd interviewed Mark Coleman.
Yeah.
I was like, how is this kid getting a hold of these guys? Like, I don't even know how to talk to these guys.
He's got a weird, you know what's
He's
funny
my hero.
is like, he's got a weird sense for how people are, and like he takes no shit. It's not like, oh, could you please? It's like, go fucking do this, and then they do it. It's the most bizarre thing I've ever seen in my life.
I tell you what, he might be your agent. You might have to hire him to be your agent.
He may be the one to get me in contact. Now watch this. In 5 seconds, he's gonna be blowing up my phone.
I'm in. What do I apply?
He's a Greta Thunberg.
Look at that guy. 12 years old, this kid. Anyway,
you said a name, and this is completely off of MMA subject, and probably the farthest I will get into political. You said how you say that last name?
Greta Thunberg.
Ricky, how you say his last name? Jervis with the Golden Globe Awards. Did you see his speech?
Yeah.
I watched it twice. It's so funny.
Oh my God! I was at work and I had to sit down and I went to all my coworkers like, listen, this is what these people need to hear. Like this man is my hero now.
He's the best. Dude, his stand-up is... Did you see his stand-up on Netflix?
No, I will be watching it tonight.
It's good.
Funny.
He doesn't give a fuck. I love it.
He's so
Everyone should be like that.
I love it. He's sitting here drinking whiskey or scotch, and he's like, I've been on here 5 times. This is supposed... And I mean, like, you know, he's making fun of, like, the fact that Kevin Hart had to step down from the Oscars because of a tweet that he made 10 years ago, and he's like, I'm still here.
Yeah.
Like, I love this guy.
You know what's great? Like, you don't even have to agree with his opinion. It's just how he delivers his opinion.
Yeah.
It's just so fucking funny.
And he's like, really this is my last time. Who cares?
He don't give a fuck. Oh, he's the best. Everyone's got to be like that. Maybe you could.
Funny.
Maybe in your next trash talking, you know, I think your next fight, you should really trash talk this guy. What do you say? Like, really attack. Is that going to happen? Or are you going to
Man, I doubt it, bro. It's just not me. Like, everybody would know I'm faking it.
Yeah.
Like, there's nobody in bare knuckle that I have legit beef with. Like, maybe if there was some legit beef, like somebody crossed me or something, but at the end of the day, I mean, I'm just here to fight. Like, that's my job. That's what I'm good at. I'm 2019, I slowly built myself up in social media, and now I'm starting to learn how to play the game a little bit. So I am coming out of my shell a little bit more. I'm not scared to say that I'll fight anybody. I mean, because I'm not. I mean, I've told Nate Shook, and I guess I can say it now. I was actually offered to fight Jason Knight as a potential fight. Right before they made the Knight versus Lobov 2 fight, they didn't know if they were going to have it on pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
And if it was going to be a free fight, they weren't going to do that fight. So Nate calls me up and he's like, is there anybody in here in Mississippi that you wouldn't fight? I was like, no. I was like, I ain't scared to fight anybody. I was like, for the right money and the right weight, I'll fight anybody. And he's like, okay, I'm going to hold you to that. He's like, what do you say to fighting Jason Knight? I said, what weight? I was like, because the only way I could do, the lowest I could go is 155. He's a 45er. I'm a 65er. And I need 8 weeks at least to get down to 55. And he's like, well, what weight would you feel? And, you know, we negotiated that. But I told him, I was like, man, look, for the money you're paying me right now, I'm not fighting Jason Knight. Mm-hmm. Like, that's just not financially a smart move. And
no.
He's like, no, we would pay you way more. And he gave me the numbers that I like to hear. And it was just a potential thing. And since then, I actually think Jason Knight came on y'all's show right before me and talked about how he walks around at like 158.
Yeah,
so I was like, well, that fight will never happen then because I could not make 45. Like, not to mention, now that would be funny because Jason Knight lives to trash talk, and I don't. So like, it would probably be mostly him talking trash and me laughing. But that would be. I'd just be laughing at the situation. But
you're like, you're a meanie. I'm gonna beat you up, meanie.
that would be it, man. Like,
you're a meanie.
And I'm not gonna lie. Like I've made plans with my dad before. Like there's a couple of former UFC vets that are gonna be in this this tournament, and like when I finally do match up with them, I've thought about going up to weigh-ins with a notebook and a pen and being like, "Can I have your autograph?" Like, you know, just.
That would be great, like a reverse psychology.
Yeah,
like,
that'd be funny.
You walk up and you're like, "You look great. What's your secret? What do you put in your hair? It smells great." Like just walk up to.
Do you think anyone's ever tried that? I don't think anyone's ever tried that.
Like,
there's one guy in the UFC that always has funny weigh-ins. He either shows up with like protein shakes and they do the wedding thing where they cross arms, or he breaks out the lightsabers. I don't know his name, but I love watching his weigh-ins.
I just saw it the other day. I was just watching highlights of him the other day.
What about the dude that just won PFL last year? Now he's the play-by-play guy. What the hell's his name? He used to be in the UFC. He used to do that. He would hand flowers to people and help me out in the chat. I forgot his name. Sean O'Connell, I think is his name.
Maybe. I think that was it. I thought about taking and rolling up some hemp flower into a joint and offering it to whoever I fight next and being like, you know, and we both just light up right there. But
that'd be great. Dude, just do what Felony does. Just hotbox before you come in and just smoke the place out.
Bro, Lord, have mercy. That last fight, I mean, he wasn't running the weight off. He was flying the weight off.
Yeah. Shout out to Felony Charles Bennett. That guy's my boy. I love that dude.
It was crazy how, like, I watched him get into Bedford's head a little bit. Now, in all respect, because me and Bedford are cool, but you could definitely tell Bedford's last fight versus his fight with Felony, you could definitely tell there was a lot more true anger and you could see it in how the fight went. And I just that's one thing, man. That's my happy place. That's where I get to say fuck everything else, and I get to be the real Kaleb Harris without having to worry about hurting anybody's feelings. So that's why you'll see me in every one of my fights. I'm smiling. I don't care if I'm bleeding. I don't care if, you know, I'm hurting. I'm happy to be in that ring. So, I mean, nobody's going to take that away from me. I'm never going to be upset at the fact that I'm fighting in that ring.
That's awesome. And you're going to be in the ring February 15th. Bare Knuckle FC is going to be doing a 155-pound tournament. Kaleb Harris has big plans, and we cannot wait to see this. This is going to be really exciting stuff. Now, to the people, there are people in our community that are like, we're an MMA channel. We shouldn't be watching this bare knuckle stuff. I say, fuck them. I love the sport. What would you say? You came from MMA. You're fighting in bare knuckle. What would you say to the MMA fans out there? Why should they watch your next fight?
You sound exactly like the people that hated the UFC won. That's exactly what I would tell them. You sound like these guys that were strictly karate based, that shit won't, that jiu-jitsu stuff won't work. Think about how those people must feel now that UFC is blown up. If you don't like bare knuckle, that's fine. But unless you're contributing a great portion to the MMA-Holes, then don't watch it if you're not wanting to hear about bare knuckle. But I think if you give it a shot and actually watch it and realize that this sport is growing, I just don't see how people won't like it. Because if you like combat sports, then you just naturally have to love bare knuckle. I mean, it's bloody, it's basic. I mean, it's gladiator shit, man. I mean, it's
the purest form.
And it also it fills crowds. Like, I just got my blue belt. I do jiu-jitsu. I respect jiu-jitsu. Jiu-jitsu is a great part of anybody's game. But you notice that people get paid to do bare knuckle in MMA. They don't get paid to, I guess some promotions do pay to do jiu-jitsu, but for the most part, jiu-jitsu competitors have to pay to compete. So, I mean, you know, it is what it is. But anybody that's hating on the fact that you're talking about bare knuckle on the show is just, I don't know, just ain't got nothing else to complain about.
We just call them Gaylords.
Gaylords.
That's what we do over here on the MMA Holes. Kaleb, listen, I wish I could talk to you for 17 hours. It's like we go back. How many years? We go back forever since we were kids.
What Moss is trying to say is we've been talking to you for an hour.
Gotta get you out of here.
And we're going to let you go.
We love you, Kaleb. It goes by fast. It's been an hour. Yeah. Could you believe this?
It didn't feel like an hour.
I still haven't ate supper yet, man. Like, I didn't even realize it. I've been having too much fun.
Yeah.
This is it's always great having you on. You're always welcome back. And you pretty much covered it all. We love you having you on this show. We're looking forward to your next fight. This is going to be fire. I mean, 2 in a row. Let's make it 3 in a row. Fuck it. Win the whole goddamn tour.
Championship year.
It's strap season, baby.
There you go. Kaleb, now's the time to throw out those sponsors. Tell the people.
First of all, I want to thank Mystic Roots for not only for supporting me and hooking me up with product and helping me get through fight camp, but also supporting my favorite YouTube channel, MMA-Holes. And I want to thank Lyle Machinery for supporting me for the last 4 years. When I was a nobody, Jimmy Lyle picked me up. Shelly's Electric supported me from my hometown. Wilkerson's Flooring. Cypress Bayou Embroidery. Beavers Unlimited. And then, of course, my newest sponsors that I've picked up since my last bare knuckle fight, Rev Gear and MMA Uncensored. Awesome. I love the gear. I love the people. And to all my future sponsors, if you're interested in getting on the Lionheart train, now's the time to do it, because I'm fixing to blow up 2020 like it ain't like, well, I guess I could say like Iran, huh?
Oh, boom, roasted. Wonderful. I like that. That's what I'm liking to hear. Fuck no, we love no war.
Also, shout out to my first ever band that supports me, Candy Bone. They're a local down south band. You should definitely go check them out. They picked up and jumped on board and are possibly and Designed by Winning. That's always done all my promos, videos. John Yargates, if you're still on, man, thank you for everything.
You said you used to be in a band?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay.
I can't carry a tune worth a damn unless I start singing.
Save that conversation for another time,
I got a whole conversation about. All right, we'll talk about that next time. Anyway, Kaleb, thank you for coming on. We'll send a shirt over. Looking forward to your next fight, and you know where we are. You can hit us up and come on anytime.
Heck yeah, brother. Thank y'all. All
right, Kaleb the Lionheart Harris. There he is on the MMA-Holes. Go give him a follow. It's at Lionheart2193. Hit me with the wonderful in the chat. Oh, fuck. You know what we forgot to do, Jesse?
What? Oh, 50 likes.
Oh, fuck.
We'll do it for him right now.
Hold on a second.
Don't call him back for a 50 likes dance.
No, don't give him back on.
I think that's a little... Call back right now. Call him right now.
Yeah, we got to call him. We got to call him back.
Put your thing up.
All right, hold on.
Put your blue things up. Come on.
Yeah, we got to call him.
Yeah, Kaleb, we got to get you back on for a second here. We've never done this before, but everyone wants you to do the 50 likes dance with us. You down?
Let's do it.
All right, let's go. Come on, what are we doing here? Ready? 50 likes. Let's go. Beat the ceiling in the chat. I've got 50 likes.
You got 50 likes. We got 50 likes. MMA-Holes 50 likes. I've got 50 likes. You got 50 likes. We got 50 likes. MMA-Holes 50 likes. I've got 50 likes. You got 50 likes. We got 50 likes. MMA-Holes 50 likes.
The dislikes can choke on a dick.
Hell yeah. All right, Kaleb. Thank you very much.
Right,
have a great night.
Peace.
We called him just for 50 likes dance. Oh, God.
What a guy.
That's how you know you got a good guest on the show, when he answers again just for a 50 likes dance.
Could you imagine if we forgot to do that? We'd be lit on fire. To the people listening on Podbean and iTunes, we just fist pumped.
Yeah.
With Kaleb Harris. All right. So what I'd like to do is that went a little bit longer, but I love it.
It didn't even feel like I looked at the clock when you started shutting it down with him. I looked at the clock. I was like, holy shit. It's been an hour.
Yeah,
it felt like 20 minutes.
The first 30 minutes, we were just so into the conversation that we forgot about the chat questions.
They wouldn't ask. No, I was paying attention. There were no.
No, I know, but it's just fun talking to him. He's a great guy.
Yeah.
So and the chat killed it tonight with the questions. Fucking A.
Jay Shiro. So about 90% of the questions that were asked tonight were from Jay Shiro. Also Jose Rodriguez, Sean Hart, Volk Vigo, Kainoto. My mom made a comment, Flat Earth Deacon. So there were some other people, but Jay Shiro asked all the heavy hitters.
It's funny.
So
Jay, you're
funny.
Fuck.
I loved the.
We need more of those.
Like, they were too good not to write. Normally, like, if it's someone that we haven't had on before and they're kind of uncomfortable, I kind of try to, like, I'll ask the heavy hitting questions, but then I'll swipe back to a normal question.
You gotta go hard.
But
we asked all the, the
these
normal
were
shit.
so good. I couldn't help myself.
Yeah, we asked all the normal shit as we go along. Some silly stuff, but the chat kills it every time. So thank you for joining us. Make sure you hit the like. Let's just rattle through the rest of the stories.
There's too many to rattle through.
Give us a quick synopsis. Help us out here, Jess.
Okay.
Let's give the news.
So there's a new shirt. The Reebok is doing some damage control on the last Conor McGregor shirt.
This is the story with the shirt.
Yeah, a Cowboy Cerrone Legacy tee has been released by Reebok to kind of sway people's eyes off of the Conor thing and onto...
They're going to change Conor's shirt, right? Is that what we're going to do here? There's Cowboy. That's normal, right? It still sucks if you think about it, but it's way better than what? Who designs Reebok shirts? Like, this is way better than Conor's, but this is still shit too.
Yeah, I mean, it's more fitting for Cowboy, I guess.
Yeah, no, this is a good walkout shirt. You look at Conor's shirt, and it's this shit.
Oh, Two Joints finally got his beanie.
Hell yeah.
Finally. It's been long enough. It's crazy.
Look at this shirt compared to... Hold on a second. This shirt. I mean, what a difference.
What a difference.
They still both suck, let's be honest, but this is horrific. This is one of the worst things I've ever seen on a shirt. And Reebok made this. They're changing this, right? They're trolling us, right?
No. He will be walking out with that shirt.
Oh my God. As if it wasn't a circus enough. I think they're trying to make me hate Conor. That's insane. This is insane. This really is... they've lost their minds. So they put this thing out, and they're saying, okay, here's Cowboy's shirt. I don't believe it. I think they're going to... How much is this shirt?
I don't know. 60.
Wait, so this one's cheaper than a Conor shirt?
I suppose so. Well, Conor makes more money anyway.
67 for this shite. And this is 60? What? What's going on? What are we doing? All right, what's the next story? That's fucking insane.
All right, Kayla Harrison owns Henry Cejudo with a savage put down after Henry Cejudo tells her to sign the contract. So you know how Henry Cejudo's been calling out... actually, click on it. It's just easier to show you. You know how Henry Cejudo's been calling out female fighters for their gold?
Yeah, massive cringe.
We'll get a load of this. First tweet from Henry Cejudo. Actually, it was Gabriel Gonzalez says, late night thoughts. Kayla Harrison says, yes, technically I have 4 titles because I won World in 2010. Did Henry win Worlds? I can't remember. Because Gabriel said, by Cejudo's logic, is Kayla Harrison the new Triple C? So she said, did Henry win Worlds? I can't remember. So that was her first jab. All right, Henry Cejudo then responds, Kayla Harrison, why don't you sign the contract? Talk is cheap. You know who the greatest combat athlete of all time is. # bend the knee. And then, he was retweeting that tweet. So scroll down a little bit more, and Kayla Harrison responds, I'd tell you to bend the knee, but you're already so close to the ground, a polite judo bow will suffice. # Queen K. # Cejudo knows. Now, people...
Why is this happening?
People were already on board with Kayla at this point, so Henry Cejudo's last comeback was just so poor. It said... First of all, 1 wrestling Olympic gold medal is like 5 Olympic judo gold medals. One last thing, your fights are good natural remedies to cure insomnia. But this tweet didn't do any damage because everyone was so high on the fact that Kayla Harrison just completely schooled Henry Cejudo. And then everyone's telling Cejudo, go back to challenging actual fighters. Stop challenging women. Because this last tweet just made him look like an idiot.
What is
Harrison
he doing?
Schooled him in this exchange.
Listen, I understand the cringe thing. I get it, but now he's going after PFL women at 155.
He keeps calling out all these women with gold.
Do you think he's like one of those weird guys that likes to, he likes big women to dominate him? Like he likes to be dominated by women?
I think he's too scared to call out an actual fighter right now, so he's kind of making fun and keeping his name relevant by calling out female fighters.
I have this weird feeling. He's not the biggest of guys, right? I have a weird feeling that he has this fetish that he likes to,
be dominated
by women.
Oh, get out of here.
That's what I'm thinking. He's got that big head. He likes them to straddle his big head and beat him up.
All right, Ryan Hall says the ranked tough guys are avoiding him, so he's called out Frankie, Edgar, and Jose Aldo.
This guy is the new Artem, but he actually wins. You know, like he's Mr. Heel Hook.
Well,
they love this dude.
He does think Edgar and Aldo are dodging him, so
everyone's dodging
called him out.
He's the best.
Well, all he does is like fall to the ground and lay there waiting for his opponent to come down with him.
This dude is like, he's the next GOAT. I'm telling you, he's the guy that everyone's talking about. They love him.
No, he's not.
They love him. The best.
He's not.
He could lose 5 fights in a row.
Get the fuck out
But
of
him
here.
rolling on the floor, just trying to twist your foot off your ankle.
All right, what's next? Oh, Claressa Shields says she's serious about she's a champion for boxing. She says she's serious about becoming a 2-sports star with boxing in the UFC. Says the promoter behind boxing champion Claressa Shields says she's absolutely serious about taking on Amanda Nunes.
2 guys going at it. It's kind of hot.
So we might see some boxing, fighters coming into the UFC, vice versa. So we'll see.
I watch these 2 dudes box.
Oh, stop it.
Next.
Oliveira versus Griffin and Vieira versus Safarov have been booked for UFC 248 on March 7th. So 2 new fights have been added. A couple of intriguing bouts. Then again, UFC 248 is on March 7th, which is the Khabib versus Ferguson. Fight,
so this is April.
March.
March? Wait, hold on.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
March is shoot, I got it mixed up. You're right. April is.
They just threw someone big on March.
Ferguson Cowboy. I'm sorry, Ferguson Khabib.
Let's take a look. It's in a book. Hold on. What am I doing here? UFC 248. UFC 248. I'm drawing a blank. I'm so out of it right now. Like the video. Stop being a cunt. Everyone like the video right now. Like, what the hell's going on?
Oh, Zhang versus Yan Jacek.
That's the headliner?
Yes.
I like
co-main event. That's the main.
Oh, shit.
They haven't made a main event. That's supposed to be the main event, though. They were talking about that being the main, so I don't know why they have it listed as co-main right now.
Let me look at
Whittaker Cannonier should be the co-main. And then Jacek should be the main.
Oh, this is awesome, though. If that's a co-main, it's a good fight. I don't want that to be the main event.
It might be the main event.
I don't want it.
Well, that's too bad.
The UFC always listens to me. They know what I want. And that's not what I want. I want them to do it for me. All right, UFC 248. Let's see. Hopefully it's still co-main event. All right, where are you? How far are we going? It's in March?
Yes,
March.
Sir.
To be determined. Yeah.
So that is the main.
No, it's the co-main.
It's the main.
It says to be determined, Jesse. What do you not understand?
It's the main event, Mom.
You're just making shit up.
No, it's going to be the main event.
No,
for sure.
It's not.
For sure it will.
It's to be determined. So, as of now, Zhang versus Jędrzejczyk is the co-main in March. Whittaker Cannonier, Oliveira Griffin, Vieira versus Safarov, Magny versus I love this kid. Li Jingliang. That fucking guy's an animal.
Jingliang.
He's like a mutant, this dude. He's got mutant face, but he's fun to watch. Okay. Nice. It's creamy.
All right.
They throw a nice little main event on here. It's good. Anything's better than UFC 246. The main event's shite. The people don't like that I don't say that I say shite, only because I'm half Irish. They don't like it.
I gotta be really bad, Moss.
All right, go pee. We'll finish this up.
Let's finish up the news.
Damn,
we're almost done, Moss.
I hate when listen. You can't rush the news.
You can never rush the news. Daquan Townsend, we've actually seen him fight a couple of times. I know he's not very familiar to you.
Who the fuck is that guy?
I know. But we have seen him fight multiple times, and he has been sanctioned. He's tested positive for cocaine and fentanyl, but he's still scheduled for UFC Raleigh, which is really weird.
The blacks love the cocaine, Jesse.
But after completing a 6-month suspension handed down by USADA, according to that 6-month suspension, which was retroactive, he will still be able to perform at UFC Raleigh.
That's nose candy. Leave him alone. He's just having a good time, right? Let him fight. He's just partying.
Fentanyl?
Yeah.
Get out of here.
He's just having a good time. What is fentanyl? I don't even know what that is.
Look up the actual definition of fentanyl.
Oh, it's too much work, Jesse. You're making me do work now. What is fentanyl?
All right, I get it for you.
Fentanyl, eh? They're saying, damn, I don't know what it is. I should be updated on my drugs.
Controlled substance, high risk for addiction and dependence, can cause respiratory distress and death when taken in high doses or when combined with other substances, especially alcohol. It's a narcotic to treat severe pain. So it's a painkiller.
That's a painkiller. Leave him alone. Guy who just wants to feel good. He's hurt. He should just do CBD. That would be a little bit easier.
It's a super mega opioid.
Who is this guy again? Townsend?
Townsend. We've seen him fight multiple times.
Daquan Townsend.
Townsend.
Let me look him up. Do you remember him?
Yes. You don't remember?
Oh,
we
who the
actually
fuck did he
called a
fight?
fight for him not too long ago.
Yeah.
He was on
Did we?
6-month probation, so he hasn't fought for 6 months.
And I got Alzheimer's. I don't remember this shit. Let's look him up. He's 21-9-0. There he is. Yeah. Cocaine, fentanyl, party time, kids.
Fentanyl.
33 years old. He lost. So, Lunjambula. I remember that guy. Yeah, I do remember that fight.
Lunjambula.
Yeah, because I remember we were
that was
fucking
his first UFC
around
fight.
Fighting a Lunjambula. Yeah, of course we don't know this guy. He only had one fight.
Yes, we do. I
He
remember.
lost.
I remember calling his fight.
Yeah. Let's get some cocaine and fentanyl, baby. Let's go. Let's do it. Yeah. Let's do it.
All right. Undisclosed injury forces Josh Emmett out of UFC Raw.
Look at this guy's face, Jesse.
So obnoxious.
It looks like it hisses, right?
Okay.
Mr. Power Hands.
UFC Raleigh. Josh Emmett has been injured. We don't know how he's been injured. They haven't really disclosed any information, but he's been forced out of his Arnold Allen fight, so we will not be seeing him for that fight coming
I didn't
up.
even know he had another fight coming up. It's been a while, right? When was the last time he fought, Emmett?
I don't know.
It's been a minute.
I don't know.
He should be partying with the other guy with the cocaine. It's a weird looking.
That's the UFC Auckland poster.
This is the poster.
Yeah, it's been released. Felder versus Hooker.
Why does Felder look so confused? And Hooker has the one eyebrow raised, like thinking. What is this? This is like a Sherlock Holmes poster. The fuck is this? This is a fight poster?
Yeah, that's the
Where's
poster.
the rest of this thing? Is it just their
Just
heads?
Scroll down, you can see the whole thing. There you go.
Look at this poster. Peculiar. I just want to put a pipe in his mouth. Like a pipe should just be coming out of his mouth.
I think they were going for something a little different, the black and white, making it look a little,
It looks like they should be solving crimes, right? This is not a fight. This is a crime-solving poster.
Don't make me laugh. I have to pee. I'm going to pee my pants.
Let's make Jessie piss her pants.
No, really, it's
This
bad.
is a good fight, though. Like, I'm horsing around about the poster. It's a great fight. Right? Felder, Hooker, solving crimes. With just missing their pipes in their mouths. All right, what else we got?
All right, next in the news, Mystic Moss. Francisco Trinaldo versus John Makdessi has been set for UFC Brasilia, which will be in March. So keep your eyes out for that. It will be a fight night. So that's actually going to be an exciting fight because Trinaldo and Makdessi are looking to make their ways up in the rankings right now. So it's going to be a pretty exciting fight to watch.
Yeah, they're two tough motherfuckers.
Yeah. Also, and that's it.
Also, that's it. All right, so if you're just jumping in, the press conference is next week, Wednesday. We're going to be live for it. We're going to be streaming the audio.
8 p.m. Eastern time.
Reacting that shite a little earlier in the night. And we'll get into like some news and take some phone calls. So we'll have a special show. Next week is a spectacular week. Tomorrow there is no fight briefing, but Friday we will be back for Fuqar Friday. And it's going to be wonderful, wonderful.
Wonderful.
Make sure you go over to the MMA-Holes.com and you check out Goat Milk. It's our Pick'em League, completely free. If you want a chance to win this strap, you got to be in the league. So you just join Goat Milk and you can hang with the boys.
Hang with the boys.
48 sexy men. Oh, wait.
No, I already got them.
You got them?
Yeah.
Right, I got excited. What about Ethan? Did you get Ethan?
I got him.
All right, you got Ethan too. Ethan M. Shout out to Ethan M. joining. You got him. So, yeah, we got over 50 people now in there. Look at that. Goat Milk is growing.
Wait, I got to say, Moss, the first time we created the Pick'em League a long time. I still have to change that. I keep forgetting to change that.
My foot was up a
A long time ago when, we had less subscribers and everything, it took us about a month to get this many people on the Pick'em at first. And now it only took us a week.
We are the biggest MMA channel out there, Jesse.
It's crazy.
The biggest, the greatest, the most spectacular, the creamiest.
It only took us 1 week to get 50 people on Goat Milk. Imagine how many we're going to have by the end of the year.
All right, well, if you're not a Gaylord, give us a subscribe. Hit the notification bell. We're live a lot, and we'll be reacting to UFC 246.
That's right.
Jesse?
Yesy.
You know what to do.
Don't be an a-hole. Be an MMA hole.
My foot was up a